This week's episode of the realest podcast ever is sponsored by Nothing But Furniture. It's nothing but furniture for all of your furniture needs: living room, dining room, bedroom, kids room, and mattresses. Please follow at DJC Nice and Nothing But Furniture _ on Instagram. Mention the realest podcast ever and receive a 10% discount on all your furniture needs: end tables, dining room tables, basement furniture, whatever you need. He got it delivered to your doorstep. So make sure that you follow Nothing But Furniture _ on Instagram and at DJC Nice for all your furniture needs. And mention TRPE, get a 10% discount. What up, what up? Hello, world. Realest Podcast Ever, episode 28. Today is Sunday, July 16, 2017. We are here live from New Media Studios. This is your host, Chad, a.k.a. C. Diddy.
Now you, Chad. You're funny. This is Matt, the Ron of podcaster.
The Ron. Ron Artest or Ron Harper?
A little bit of both, man. Fuck.
So set some solid picks, play defense.
Ron Artest, Ron DeVoe, and Ron Harper. You know what I'm saying?
Ron DeVoe.
Matt makes me sick.
The most unappreciated man in
the
podcasting.
most unappreciated man on the planet Earth.
Man, we back, man. We got a special episode today. Got my family in the building. My guys, Mayor and Steph from Dope Shows. Say what up to the people.
What up? What up?
What's going
on? Last show that we had with Dope Shows is one of our biggest, most downloaded and viewed shows of all time. I don't have the specific numbers in front of me. I'm gonna make just pull the number of how many downloads we got.
It was at 20 weeks ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. And what was it? Maybe like 6 weeks ago. Y'all was here.
Yeah, it was right before the Raw show, or it was during that Raw show program.
I'm thinking the number was 18. I think
So
either 18 or 19.
All right, so that was like 9 weeks ago.
Something like that.
Yeah, because we haven't done no double week episodes lately. We
No
been
what?
doing no episode. Like remember before in the beginning, sometimes we had 2 shows in a week and shit like that. When shit came up,
Oh, yeah,
we haven't been doing that lately. So
Yeah.
it's like if it was from 18 to now, then it was just straight through.
Yeah.
So it's probably like 8-9 weeks ago or something like that. And,
They still haven't downloaded 13. I'm still trying to figure
they like
out.
nope, skip over that one.
I'm still trying to figure out what
Scooter,
happened.
skip over that
I'm
one.
still trying to figure out what happened.
That shit is just like a free show, man.
No.
Justice like, should we delete it?
What's crazy is that's our highest viewed show on YouTube, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's because people can't hear it.
People not checking it out on the podcast.
We just go to YouTube.
Just gonna go to YouTube, watch this shit.
Yeah, I seen that the other day. I'm like, damn, this show it's huge on YouTube. Bunch of comments and everything. I'm like, I don't know what happened with iTunes. Like, they just dropped a ball
man,
that week.
That's funny as shit, man. Well, we got a milestone to celebrate this week. We got the champagne out. Our Dope Shows guys brought us a bottle of champagne. Celebrate 500,000 downloads to
like
date in 6 months. Shit, man, we never expected this. Like when we was starting off, Matt was like, yo, I'm good with like 500, 700 downloads a show.
No, I wanted a rate. So I was on it till like we need 500,000 a week, but to hit 500 is dope. It's an accomplishment, but keep pushing. We on
the road to 1 million, man.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, we did the first 500 in 6 months. We trying to do the next 500 in 4 months. Our viewership and all that is up from April 1st to now, so our averages is carrying higher. So we should be able to cut the time a little bit, and we have some bigger show. Episode 16, 20,940 downloads, second most for a single episode on the channel. So y'all a big chunk of that 500. Migos for President is just like another stratosphere.
Somewhere else.
Migos for President is like 280,000 downloads or some shit like that. Like,
yeah, we wasn't playing about our episode. I was getting people grandmoms, man. Check me out on the podcast, man. Go ahead and listen to that.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hold on a second. Hold on. We got business cards now. We professional now. Shout out to our team from Brand Dilly Marketing in North Carolina. Did the TRPE banner in the business cards. If y'all need to get any business done, holla at me. I'll give y'all their personal contact. Try to make sure I get our kickback for the show.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ain't no free work popping off. But yeah, 500,000 downloads, man. Big accomplishment. We celebrated that on Instagram yesterday. We're in 41 states now. Shout out to New Hampshire. We're in 71 countries now and banned in 21 countries because apparently I keep talking shit on this mic that's getting us banned from more and more places. every week. So out of the approximate 196 countries or whatever, we're either banned or featured in 92 of them.
Yeah.
We got 100 some odd to go.
Yeah.
It's good luck getting banned some more.
It's definitely your fault. I definitely was like, it can't be me.
So today we'll pop the champagne at some point, but first and foremost, we got the return of Dope Shows. Y'all put a lot of work in since y'all been here. The last time, two more shows was in the books. Another one coming up. What's going on, fellas?
So, August 11th, Friday, we have Jeezy, P&B Rock, YBS Scholar in Baltimore. Philly is only about hour and a half drive down. It's actually on the harbor, on the waterfront. Beautiful scenery. A lot of hotels down there for our Philly folks that want to come down. And I mean, that's the show that we focused on right now. It's a step above for us. The first venues that we were doing for the first 3 shows were 2,500 people venues. Mm-hmm. This venue is roughly 5,000 people. So, step above. That's what we plan to do. Just keep stepping it up.
You said it's Jeezy, P&B Rock,
and YBS Scholar.
And who else?
YBS Scholar.
No, didn't you say another name?
No.
I thought you said somebody else.
And my guy Black Poppy opening up from Philly.
Definitely. And it's a seated venue. It's not like standing room only. So it's
okay.
It's a little bit of standing room like for the lawn seats, but everything else is seats. So that's like more about.
People don't really sit down at concerts.
They don't, but they like the option to.
Yeah.
Because they get tired if people take too long.
Especially if you got a longer show. Yeah. This show, y'all got more acts than y'all prior shows. Mm-hmm. So that's where the seats start to come in, where it's like you got intermissions and like set changes and like shit like that.
Right.
So y'all just announced P&B Rock this week, right?
Right.
Just added P&B Rock. We had talked behind the scenes about another artist. We're not going to say who, but we had talked behind the scenes about another artist. How did y'all come to the decision on P&B Rock as opposed to the other act that we talked about?
I mean, me and Steph, we always, like, especially when we was traveling back and forth to Boston, we would always, like, just listening to music in the car.
Yeah.
We would always say, like, this artist, that artist, that we want to get our hands on this artist, or we were looking to do this. So early on, like maybe after the Fab show, we was in talks with P&B Rock about doing some sort of, like, tour. So he was somebody that was initially like, all right, when we get the opportunity, we really going to move forward with doing something with him when the tour didn't work out. So from that point, it was like when we initially went to, and this go into like things that we've learned from the last time we was here to now. When you look at an artist, like say in Jeezy's case, we look at Jeezy, they tell us exactly how much Jeezy wants. But that price can stagger based off of what type of market you taking the artist into. So when we initially asked for Jeezy, we didn't have a specific market that we wanted to take him to.
Yeah,
we didn't
just
know,
wanted
like, Jeezy,
period.
Yeah, we wanted Jeezy, or we wanted a bigger name artist that didn't necessarily work out, that pan out at that time. So once we were supposed to take a bigger name artist into Charlotte. Once we couldn't take that artist into Charlotte, we then was like, all right, we going to then rock. We going to then go with Jeezy. We got the number on Jeezy, but then when we then decided to take him into Baltimore, we then found out that Baltimore is Jeezy's third market. So he actually charges more when he goes into Baltimore because it's almost like a guaranteed sellout when he show up in Baltimore.
Okay.
So initially, on Steph end, when it's like we crunching all the numbers, we wanted 3 artists, but we was kind of like, all right, when we got the upcharge on Jeezy for it being his third biggest market, we was like, all right, we need to be solidified with this third artist because YBS Scholar the same way. I'm listening to Shining. I'm seeing how people reacting to it. I kept saying, like, we really need to do him at some point. Like, we need to get our hands on YBS Scholar. So when we ended up taking Jeezy into Baltimore, it only made sense to say, like, all right, YBS Scholar, he's from Baltimore. He's super popping out there. It's like, all right, we going to add him. But the third artist, we was more or less like, we going to go to Baltimore and we going to start to fill it out, to figure out exactly who makes sense for us to add. And when we first got out there, we was hearing, like, this one artist in particular that everybody was kind of playing and was hype about and excited about. And we started going through the logistics with trying to solidify that. And kind of had some, like, backdoor things that we kind of learning that didn't work out in our favor. So then at that point, we then was like, you know what? Like, we been talking about PNB Rock. Every club we go into, he's super popping out here as well. It just made sense. We reached out to his management, and then we was able to get the deal done. And it makes sense for us, too, because it's like, when we out there, we from Philly. So it's like people always gravitate towards that. So that it really made us feel like, that was the perfect decision.
Right.
Like, we putting our city on even more by adding one of the biggest artists from the city right now to a show that we got out of town. So that's pretty much how the PNB Rock situation came about.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, it's a good time for PNB Rock. He got one platinum record out now. Selfish just went platinum. I think the record with Kodak is about to go platinum. And his album is like streaming. He's doing like crazy streaming numbers right now. So I think everything aligned itself, and it makes sense in doing, and adding him to a show that was already on the uptick, and now just kind of like using him to solidify it.
Unforgettable is a hit too. Hopefully they could. We was talking to his manager about that.
Yeah,
doing something with that song, getting it on iTunes, but that joint is a hit. I don't know if you heard that.
The remix that he did. Yeah, I listen to it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, also that Every Day We Lit. Like, that's
Yeah.
coming up everywhere. You can't.
We heard that a lot of times. I
Yeah,
think.
but to say, when we be in Baltimore, they playing that every 5 minutes on the radio there.
Yeah.
And the joint with Kodak Black, they was playing a lot out there.
Yeah.
Like they mess with that heavy.
So let's talk about what transpired since the last show. Y'all had Ross in Philly. Y'all had Fab and Kiss, Freddie vs. Jason in Boston. Talk about them two experiences, how they was similar, how they was different, and what y'all took away from them.
Fab and Jada in Boston was amazing. It was pretty much a sellout. The vibe was crazy. Philly was obviously is our hometown. It was crazy, but Boston was like ravenous. Like those fans out there, we had somebody fell out.
I'm gonna look that up.
A lady fell out in the first row when Kiss was rapping. Like just fell out. Like she was in church. Like she quit.
Like like how old of a lady?
I couldn't see.
Because
how
you
old
said
she was.
lady. That's
Because you said
She
lady.
fell out. I don't know how old she was. I couldn't see how old she was, but I know she fell out. But she did end up getting back up.
why did she like on
She
some?
was just touched by how Kiss dropped. It might have been one of them Jones one of them Jones.
Yeah.
And he just
Kiss go in on the performance tip.
Yeah, it was
The
crazy.
lady fainted, and then Kiss said, she was feeling it that, he probably paused in the show.
Yeah.
She got back up, the crowd started clapping for her, like it was some basketball if you injured, and you get back up, and the whole crowd go crazy.
When I think of fans passing out, I instantly think of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So you know what mentally came to my mind? Kiss with one of them shiny jackets on, running with an army in another country. That popped into my head because that just sounds insane that somebody would pass out at a Kiss concert.
Plus, those intimate venues, it's like you can feel it. You know what I mean? Like that's why we like them. I mean, we trying to grow and so we could do bigger stuff, but like it's intimate. You feel the music. You feel it. You like right there. Everybody is part of it. So she just felt it, and you know what I mean?
She went. There she goes.
Yeah.
I think also with the Boston show, when it's a lot that go into doing a show in your hometown, it's like that you don't have to deal with when you on the road. Like I don't have people for.
You don't have 300 comps calling.
Yeah, like I don't got people at the back door trying to get backstage and all of those things. So when Fab and Kiss and them were in Philly, I feel like we weren't able to be as interactive with them. We was handling a million different things. But when we was in Boston, we was like sitting with them, talking, chilling, really just building. Kind of like a twofold funny story of like we we was working on another show for another city with them, and we had like some emails out that was still unanswered. And just even having those moments with Fab being backstage, laughing, joking, and still being able to handle the business aspect of like, yo, tell your people to get back to us, and him being like, I'm on it, I'm on top of them because I see what y'all doing. Or having him say like, oh, I seen y'all just had Ross in Philly, like I'm watching how y'all moving, and then even to the point where like at some point we plan to do more shows. They basically put a hold on the shows, Freddie vs. Jason show, until they actually release the music.
Okay.
So right now we already in talks with them about like doing something major with them once
Around the release and all that.
Around the release.
Yeah.
So and then the second show was Philly.
Ross.
Ross was before the Fab
Ross
show,
was
but
before the Fab.
the other show that we had was Ross, Memorial Day weekend, and it was a success. I feel like it was a near sellout. It had its ups and downs. It was a roller coaster. It was a heck of a learning experience for us as a company. I think since then we've learned so many different revenue streams that are out there for what we are doing. We also learned a lot about the business in terms of like walk-ups. With our first show, we sold out
like
9
days
days
ahead,
before. So we didn't have to really think about the whole walk-up aspect of concerts. And that was our first show. So for the second show, it was like we did the whole time with the promo, like Live Nation was telling us more or less, the people from the Fillmore was like, you could depend on 200 walk-ups or you could depend on 300 walk-ups. But coming from a sellout, we was kind of like, no, this is our city. Like, we wanted to sell out.
Yeah.
So being honest, we did get to a near sellout, and it was true of what they said. And now we do know that walk-ups is a real thing. Yeah. But it was, being honest, for me, it was a little disheartening at first, or the build up to the show. Like, I've been talking to people for 2-3 weeks about the show, and now on the day of, I'm running around and I'm doing all of this stuff to try to make sure that we can hit the sellout point. So
we might have had like 500-600 walk-ups at the Raw
for the Raw show.
The Raw show was crazy with the walk-ups.
And I remember calling Chad that day and was kind of like, yo, I just was having a conversation with somebody from Live Nation. They was telling me like we could be good for 300, 400 walk-ups. And I'm just like, that don't make sense to me. Like, I think in 2017, nobody is walking up to a show getting a ticket. And Chad, you was in agreement with me, like, nah, they might be tripping. And then when we ended up doing like 500-600 walk-ups, it just opened our eyes. Like, you know what? You do got to listen to the people that, like, although the first show was a sellout and we may have our angle is like, we still students of the game. We still learning. Like the same way with Baltimore. Baltimore is a slower city in terms of purchasing, but everybody keeps saying like, yo, you could get 800 to 1,200 walk-ups in this city.
That's crazy.
People don't buy tickets initially.
Whole families get on the bus and don't have money. I've seen like or anything can happen. Like literally, it just you should don't make any logical sense. When you sit back, you think about it. You like, how?
Right.
Like how? Like you. It don't even like. You in your mind, like you would not go to a concert you don't have a ticket of.
Right.
But
I would at the very least know like the morning of where I'm going.
Yeah.
Like even if I'm BSing around buying a ticket, I would wake up that morning like I know I'm going. Yeah. Let me go online and buy a ticket. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not walking up to no box office to buy a ticket.
Yeah. And at the time of the show, so I thought we sold like because they shut down the online a few hours before the show. That's how they do it here in Philly. So, say like 2 hours before the show, people started hitting me like more or less like I can't get tickets or they not available online. And the box office was saying like when I called them more, so like, yo, did we sell out more on the excited tip? They like, nah, not quite. But you can tell people to still walk up to the box office. We'll sell tickets up until an hour or two after the doors have opened.
Oh, okay.
And it's like that's a market, and that's something that we had to learn because we didn't go through that with our first show. So I think all in all, the bumps that we went through with the Raw show, it was the biggest learning experience that we had thus far.
Yeah. Also, like he was touching on the revenue streams, like with the Raw show, we wasn't like with the first show we wasn't thinking about it at all. The second show, not too much either. We were just giving people like free opportunities basically to get up there and do they thing. But out in Baltimore and like now, like we learned like we got 3-4 openers that's like gung ho about their opportunity to get on stage and rock out, and they willing to invest in themselves for that.
Yeah.
And we didn't know that in the beginning. Also, we had people play ball with us on sponsorship opportunities. We tried to do that in Philly.
Philly a rough market for sponsorship.
It's
like when I take the podcast out of it, back to when you remember when I did the show for Al at Sigma Sound? I hired a PR 2 months out and literally had her pounding the pavement, going like door to door and making phone calls for sponsorship, and nobody would give no money up. Like everybody's like, "Well, I'll give you product." I'm like, "Fuck product! I got a real budget. Like I'm giving away 500 movies. Like I don't want fuck your product. I don't want no fucking watch with diamond chips in it. Give me some money, and I'll put your name on everything. Like I'll put your name in the movie if you want." Nobody wanted to get no money yet, man. It's just like it's a rough place, man. As far as like doing business, man. Like it's hard.
You would think that it would be better here because Baltimore is way smaller than Philly, but
the Philly mentality is so it's rough. It's a difficult. We was just talking about it. Shit you just can't make sense of. It's like it doesn't make any sense. We go out and we do this. Shit's clearly a success. Charting on iTunes, motherfuckers all over the world listen to this shit. And our biggest sponsors they come from other places.
Right.
Like, and I talk to people daily who are here and got real life things that coincide with what we do and who we talk to, and it's like pulling teeth. And it's like, all right, maybe people just aren't successful. I don't know. But doesn't make sense.
We had a couple though on our Philly show though. We had shout out to Milano and Crazy Hands.
Sitting pretty,
and a couple other people, but definitely Milano and Crazy Hands. They stepped up and they gave something, and we appreciate that to this day. So shout out to them if they listening.
I think y'all said it on a previous show too. Philly got this mentality where like nothing is a big deal. Like everything is
everything is
everything
whatever.
Small. And I think out of town, people don't have that same perception. Like when we walk into places, people treat us accordingly. They treat us like we bring in 3 major artists, or we have done 4 shows in 4 months. I feel like that's how it gets carried. Where we're here is like, all right, Ross gonna be at the Fillmore. This might be a $100,000 show. It's Memorial Day weekend. There's nothing else to do. But like, I'm gonna go to my neighborhood bar because that's gonna be more lit than that.
Right.
And I think that business owners sometimes know that, so they don't necessarily feel like they get the return on the investment. Where out of town, we had a sponsorship in Baltimore that gave us like a nice situation, and they was able to attach their name to the show. We actually got 2 sponsorships in Baltimore that was major. So I think that it helps their brand. They see the vision. And I hope at some point, like, Philly wake up in those regards.
What people got to understand to that specific point is that it's a give and a take from both parties. As a business owner, you're giving, when y'all decide to do a show here, y'all are giving something to the city as a whole, to the Fillmore, to the parking situation, all of that. Y'all are giving something that y'all could easily take to South Carolina or take to Atlanta or take to whatever else. So from the consumer aspect, they have to make that same investment into saying, I want shit that's coming here to pop, especially given by a local Philly-based company. Like, so the consumers have to invest in the nightlife aspect and the entertainment aspect as well, or shit'll just stop coming here and it'll go where it makes sense, where y'all know y'all can make money at. Exactly. So it was like, out of y'all first 4 shows, 2 have been here in Philly, all with A-list artists. As consumers, y'all got to invest back. Y'all got to reinvest into that so that out of the next X amount of shows, they don't even feel like they need to go out of town and do shows because they know I'm going to get my money in Philly, and it can grow to the point where y'all doing the shows at the Wells Fargo and not just Live Nation and not just AEG. And that's what people got to understand. If y'all want this shit to continue to happen, y'all got to spend y'all money at the box office and pay for these things to continue to be a success.
It's weird, man. It's almost like people want to support, but
like, it's like $1 on a string.
It's so strange.
Like,
I don't know if you saw the chick the other day with the whole Dubai thing. Like, they calling L&I on her and all this crazy, and she was on Instagram going off, and it's just like people sickening, yo. Like straight up and down sickening when it come to just supporting something or being for something. It's like, oh no, fuck that.
And it don't even got, like, in that particular instance, like, whatever the fuck is going on up there, y'all wasn't doing nothing with that empty space anyway. Like, why is it an issue?
And I know for a fact, because I used to go in her restaurant a lot. Right. And I used to, I to myself, you know, I hate niggas. I used to go in there and I'd be like, why all these young niggas in here? But then hearing her like, yo, I employ 16 kids. It's like, yeah, she like, I don't have to, but I do that so they have something to do. And it's just like, like, people don't even understand certain situations. It's just like, fuck that. I don't even, and that mentality.
Fuck that, I'm tired of seeing it.
Exactly. That mentality.
It ain't bothering me. It ain't impeding my progress. It ain't stopping me from getting where I need to go, but fuck that, I'm tired of it.
Corny niggas with salt and pepper beards. It's like, yo, like, motherfucker don't even listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that podcast.
First, y'all hanging out with motherfuckers y'all don't know, following them. Now, y'all listening to their podcast. Y'all crazy. Like, what's crazy about that? You will listen to a motherfucker from L.A. or New York podcast.
I listen to
You will-
Tariq Nasheed. I listen
You
to
will
Brilliant
listen to
Idiots. I listen
Charlemagne and fucking live by every piece of advice he fucking give you, but
Dig me.
I'm less qualified because I'm from where you from.
Yeah, I'm from 2 blocks down the street.
Fuck me.
Ain't that some shit?
Shit bad, man.
It's crazy.
It's sad though.
Shout out to our sponsors in Baltimore too, Dazzle Stores and
Give them our email.
DTLR. DTLR.
We heavy in DMV, so give
Yeah.
them our email.
Real talk.
So if y'all come to Baltimore, y'all want to get some clothes on the urban side, go to Dazzle. Y'all want some sneakers, go to DTLR. They are peoples. They rocking with us.
And they supporting the culture, man.
Exactly.
What else? Oh, specific to the show shit and what y'all doing. How differently do y'all look at the game now versus when y'all started back in December, January?
I look at personally. I look at the game like we wanna keep growing, and like I said, we started off the 2,500 people venues, but we want to start growing that cap. We want to get an arena in before the end of the year, so hopefully it's an arena. If it's not here, it'll be somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere like we seen some arenas is like 75 to 10,000, or
Yeah.
maybe all the way
Amphitheaters.
up to maybe all the way up to like 17,000, depending on what happens here.
Like, what's it called over there in Jersey?
M&T Bank Pavilion now.
Susquehanna.
Well, it used to be Susquehanna.
is it
it's like
changed?
M&T Bank Pavilion
Okay,
now or
okay.
some shit.
That's
like
an
that.
amphitheater. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking about. Yeah.
Or maybe we could do the Wells Fargo here. We'll see. That's
Going to the Beyonce concert kind of ruined me. It's like it was so good. Like
Yeah.
the production, the sound. Even when Khaled was like, it was just a good ass show.
Yeah.
And it's just like the rap. It just, I don't know what it is with me and the rappers. It's like you got to have a good ass show.
Certain motherfuckers is going to cheat you on the show aspect of it because they not going to spend no money on a production.
Like when I see people who like are big time Future fans and they like, yeah, I love Future. I hate him in concert. It's like, huh?
Yeah, I've seen Future 10 times in concert. He was terrible every time except one.
Yeah, that's what I be like.
And I'm like a Future stan. He was terrible every time except the first time I seen him at Echo Stage. He killed it. But I saw him again at Echo Stage, dry. I seen him in Vegas, dry. I seen him in Philly, dry.
You ain't see him at this last one in It was in Camden.
Yeah.
The one we went to, that joint.
Oh, the Nobody Safe joint? I didn't see that one. The last time I
killed
seen
that
him was
shit. He
September
killed
with
it.
Drake in Vegas. And Drake murdered it. And I was just like, Future had spirit dancers, and I was pissed.
Yeah, I feel like he got better. I mean, this last show was crazy, but you never know which where you seeing him at.
Yeah.
I thought her show was phenomenal. And mind you, it was raining. That was what fucked me up the most.
Yeah.
About
It was raining. She ain't slip. She ain't miss a beat. She didn't skip
And
out on no
was-
routine.
ain't skip out on nothing. Was tearing it the fuck up. And it was like, yo, I'm freezing cold. I got a poncho on, boots soaked, but whatever. It's like you forgot what was going on because she was that good on stage. And it's just like you see rappers now. It's like Busta Rhymes back in the day had like a crazy show. Even DMX, you know, it's like I halfway still want to see DMX. And y'all do that. Yeah. You know, put me. I'm gonna need a comp. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, because X is just that energy is just insane. It's like I don't like these new dudes enough to want to sit through an hour and a half of whoever it is. You know what I mean? So,
But I think that's where we come into play at, and it go back to what Chad's question was, the things that we learned. Like we want each show to be an experience. We want people to come out and it's like, yeah, you might not love Ross or you might not be the diehard Ross fan, but your favorite artists might be on the bill as well. Or like each show we had live paintings. You might love the artist that is painting tonight. Just giving people different reasons to come out and giving them memorable experience. Like we already talking about now about having where like certain sections we're gonna give away like merch to or give away like gift bags. So we're like you come and you end up leaving with something.
Yeah.
So that way is in your mind like the way you talked about the Beyonce show, like that's how I want people to talk about dope shows experience wherever at in the world. Like the response we got from the Boston show, like people was hitting up DJ A Boogie afterwards, like when y'all coming back to Boston or when you gonna come back, and we want that to be the same case every show in the world. And I think that's one thing that we learned is like it's not always gonna be about the artist. People don't always love people not gonna always love an artist show, or some artists, like for Chad perspective, Chad seen Future 10 times and feel like he may have not been good 9 of the times. He may not be geeked up, but if you could sell him on all these other things that's going on in the venue that day, like he may be like, you know what?
The thing about it is, I love Future so much, I'm coming knowing that he ain't shit because the music is so powerful.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know the show. I know I'm coming expecting the show to stink, and I'm like, but he gonna perform, never gonna lose in motherfucking Chosen One. I'm here for that.
And maybe it's just because rap is like it's so many intangibles that go into the artist. Like maybe he, one of his baby moms is drawing, or he didn't have enough lean for the night. It's just all kinds of stupid shit.
They fucked the writer up.
Yeah, that goes into it. So you never know.
It was always important to me to add stuff to our shows, though. That's why we do like the video board stuff. And like the interact, like we got like a in-house VJ who runs the board. He create graphics for the board. Like our first show, I was like, we gotta have that because, you go to a hip hop show, it might be a curtain up and it might be a mic and guys just going in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You'd be lucky if it's a red curtain as opposed to black.
Yeah. we want the video board. We want to have some imaging up there because it turns us up a little bit.
Like it's real live rap artists who concerts look like trap karaoke.
Yeah.
Like that's really what it comes off like.
So we always try to do an investment in that, and this is gonna be no different with this show.
I also think too what you were saying, Matt, of like he might not his baby mom might have been tripping or the lean and all of that. It's a funny story from the other day. We was in Baltimore. There was a day that we was battling this day. Like we was trying to add on the last act. Like, we had basically 48 hours where we was going through a million different mixed emotions. Like, me and Steph sitting in the car for 5 hours. We ain't even talking to each other. Like, we both hot. And we was downtown. We was on the harbor. We had went to go get something to eat. The whole time, we not even talking. Like, I'm thinking about what's the next best move for dope shows. He thinking about what's the next best move. And it was all, like, the harbor be packed. So it was like lunchtime, we down there, and everybody was just chipper. Like, everybody was hyped. They was excited. And, like, me and Steph looked at each other like, yo, these don't calm down. Like they just too, and it just was mentally what we was going through in that moment. Like, we wasn't trying to hear nothing. Like, a lady had asked
was y'all drinking lean? Oh, that's what I thought. I thought y'all was both, like, syrup. I was like, wait,
No.
what?
I'm saying, like, the ups and downs of this game is, like, something that we also learning where this was a day where, like, back to what you were saying about how, like, artists be going through so much stuff. Like, you never really know. Like, a performance somewhere might not have been their best because whatever might have been going on. Like, that, and I just gave an example of that day. Like, we wasn't really for nothing. Like, we wasn't trying to talk to nobody. And that's just we starting to see the roller coasters of this entertainment industry.
Yeah.
But we recruit everybody we see. Only person that we didn't see that I haven't seen recently that we just booked was Ross. But we seen Jeezy. We seen him here.
Yeah, Jeezy performance is crazy. Anywhere he at, his performance.
Now that's a person who I've never heard anything bad about from a lot of different people.
Yeah.
People are like, I like Jeezy's show.
And we seen PNB Rock, who, like, surprisingly we seen him at the Meek show, and I was like, damn, he killing it. He had one leg. He was on a little pushing joint.
I seen him kill the Core and Friends show on the fucking scooter drone. Mm-hmm. He came out and did the hook to Too Many Years, and they fucking lost it. I said, yo, they love this kid.
Yeah, I'm like, this he just came out and he didn't give a fuck that he was on a little kick thing. Right? So, and then we seen him at the TLA. Yeah, we seen him at the TLA with A Boogie. He took over A Boogie's show. We like, man, he got something. So we seen YBS. We went to his party out there. This was after we booked him, but we know his song popping. So, and they good people to work with. Like, we can call them for anything. So we kind of growing with them. So I think that's a good investment we made with them too. So.
Yeah, it was funny when we was at the Beyonce joint. Khaled was the opening act, and I'm like, damn, it's just Khaled and that like that. But he tore that fucking stage. I'm talking about, he got to the point where he wasn't even playing. He was cutting on anything. Right. And people was just, he cut on Knuck If You Buck. Every white people was jumping. I'm like, this ain't even his song. I'm the only one in the crowd hating. But it was a crazy ass setup. So it's like, some people just like that. Like, they just can take over. Like, I kind of forgot I was there because Khaled just, he went to the max with it.
He's an amazing performer.
Yeah.
And another thing we forget is, like, being in this, how cultural, like, our culture is, like how it expands to all types of people. Like you look out in the crowd and you don't expect to see people at a Jada Kiss and a Fab show, but you see like all types of people, like, and you see all types of people at a Rick Ross show, and you hear about all types of people inquiring about tickets for Jeezy. It's like our culture is powerful, and
we said that before. Like I think like hip hop culture is pop culture.
It's pop culture. Yeah,
it's not really that's hip hop anymore. It's like that's it. You know, you look at the bigger Caucasian artists of the day. Other than like Adele, they're all like are influenced by hip hop. Yeah. You know, so Gwen Stefani, Miley Cyrus, like all of them. So it's literally hip hop has become the staple of what it is in the world.
And
so
Jimmy Iovine, he said, like, we probably gonna talk about this later, but Jimmy Iovine, he like a visionary, and he made like his biggest investment or his biggest like step with a hip hop guy. So that means something.
He worked with what was it from the Beatles? He worked with John Lennon from the Beatles, but his biggest everything that he ever did involved Dr. Dre. Yeah. Every single top 3 of his biggest moments in his career. Fuck Suge.
Yo.
Suge fucked up a $500 million empire because he wanted to be a nigger.
He had Suge playing football with the Kennedys. I thought that was crazy.
They came to Suge and said, Suge, why are you doing this? This is how I want it. Like you was a square your whole life. You played football and you was a big bitch, and then you got all this money and decided to be a gangster. You're a clown for that.
I thought it was hilarious. Suge told Dionne Warwick, like, you the psychic.
You should have knew I was coming.
You want to talk about the Defiant ones since we went there?
So, for those of you that haven't watched it, you cheating yourself. The Defiant ones aired.
That or you don't have HBO.
Yeah, the Defiant ones aired last week on HBO. They put out episodes 1 and 2, but all 4 is available on demand. You can watch all 4 or whatever. The Defiant ones is just like some of the best television I've seen in a very, very long time. And even like to the way that it's written and edited, the way they cut around the story, and starting with the almost losing the Apple deal because of the social media shit and how social media can and Heineken's can fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And
social media and Heineken's for you folks out there can ruin your whole entire
social media and Heineken's almost ruined a $3 billion deal.
Like you can really fuck it up with social. A bottle of E&J and social media could fuck up your
unravel
life.
A whole everything.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, the Defiant Ones is basically the story of Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre. And
no. The Defiant Ones is a series. They're going to do more of them.
Oh, they're going to do more of them?
Yeah, because if you look when it says season 1, episode 1, 2, 3, 4. What I read, I don't know if it's true, is that they're going to do a Defiant Ones on, who was the other person? No Limit. That was what I saw. No Limit. I saw people on Twitter like they wanted to see a Rockefeller one, but it's basically going to be it's series on different things. That's the first season, the first 4 episodes.
Gotcha.
So
this particular installment of it is about the Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre story. Basically going back to Jimmy's start as a kid from Brooklyn, sweeping floors in the studio, turning into learning how to engineer on the fly, turning into a music engineer, turning into a producer. Dre starting off as a DJ with the World Class Wrecking Crew, learning how to cut, learning how to mix, DJing with them, going on tour with the Wrecking Crew, then eventually NWA, Death Row, the original installment of Aftermath, then the shady Aftermath G-Unit era, and then now to their partnership together with Apple Music and the creation of Beats. So it just basically tells that whole story and goes through their whole everything, and it literally shows that 2 people from 2 totally different walks of life with basically similar like blue collar roots ended up partnering together to create a multi-billion-dollar empire together. And one's a 60-year-old white guy and one's a 40-some-odd-year-old black guy. And their shared values is what's carried them together through business and through the experience, and they're the best of friends.
Yeah, it was amazing. And Tyrese almost fucked it up.
Somebody that don't even got shit to do with it.
Snoop exhaled the weed. Tyrese almost fucked that up. Yeah. But I thought it was a real good documentary. Like I said earlier, my only gripe with it was that it didn't go. It's like I waited all the first 3 episodes. In the first episode, it goes in depth with the Wrecking Crew, Yella, how he was running around with Alonzo, all the bullshit that happened up there. Yeah,
all that shit.
DOC was the second one. The second episode was when DOC came in, started writing with NWA, and then him and Easy splitting and trying to figure out what was happening. DOC having an accident. And it's like I get through the second one and the third one, and I'm like, all right, well, the fourth episode is going to be Eminem and 50 and how that shit. And it was like, you know, all this shit. And then it was Jimmy Iovine like, yeah, you don't, you know, when horses race, you put blinders on them. So that way they just go. And 50 dropped from the ceiling. It was like, yeah, you know, I'm with Aftermath. Dre and them is the reason for it. And then it was on the beats. I'm like, what the fuck? It was like, yeah, that was my only gripe with it, was that they cut out the 50 G Unit era, because that was that might have been the most important thing. Yeah. Because it brought Dre to this new
generation. They carried him forward again.
So, but they kind of depicted that Eminem did that more than 50 though. Like,
I mean, we still, because I still really don't even know. Was it M or was it Dre that
M found 50?
So that's
but 50 was blackballed in New York because of the situation with Murder Inc. and Universal.
But this is my whole gripe with it. You see how we kind of understand this. I know about the whole shit with New York and 50, but for the average casual person, they still don't know. Yeah. They broke down how the whole Eminem tape landed in Dre office and all.
They didn't break down nothing about the 50.
It was just like 50 just popped up with go. and it was on. And it's like, no, because 50's story before he became a successful rapper is almost as big as his story after he became a successful rapper. Yeah. So it's like, I wanted him to go into that. Like, think about it. He had the whole shit when the Jay-Z dissed him. All of that shit was before he was huge.
Right.
So I wanted to see them go more in detail with that, and they just didn't. Yeah. So that was my only gripe with it.
I think Jimmy Iovine's, not to cut you off, I just think Jimmy Iovine's personal issues with 50 is like, nah, fuck that. We gonna touch on it, but let him tell his own fucking story. Like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
I think they wanted to get more into the Eminem part because of Dre, because Dre put everything he had into Eminem. And Jimmy Iovine, like, backed Dre. He was like, I don't really know about what Eminem's saying, but I'm rolling with Dre, and if Dre think it's great, then
it's great.
Yeah, so I think that's why they took that plight too. But
yeah.
I just love the loyalty that they have to one another is just crazy because they literally tried to kick Dre out of the building a bunch of times, and Jimmy's like, all right, well, fire me too. Take me with him because I'm going where the fuck Dre goes because he a musical genius and none of y'all are. So if y'all want to fire Dre, good, do it. I'm out of here too.
Yeah. That Aftermath album, looking back on it, hindsight, it really did stink.
Oh man, it was bad. Listen, I downloaded it the other day. I was like, this is bad.
Yeah, that joint really did stink. Something awful.
And the Firm album right after that, another
I
stinker.
told y'all though, I like the Firm joint. You know, I'm a Nas fan, so it's like I could fuck with the Firm. Phone Tap, Firm Biz, it got me through that album. Yeah. Like, it wasn't the greatest work, but I thought it was all right. But I mean, the documentary was very, very good. A couple things in there I really, really liked. I thought were hilarious. You know, Snoop explaining how he bung on Dr. Dre the first time he called him was hilarious. Snoop to me was the funniest. Yeah. Everything that came out of his mouth was just funny as shit. So it was a good documentary. It's not better than 30 for 30 OJ.
Nah, nothing's better than that. That's the best documentary.
OJ's you know he's going for parole. They're gonna air it live. His parole hearing. I'm like, yo, OJ life is amazing.
So what's that line? It's nothing that I do that ain't news. Whose line is that? That shit is OJ. Like anything OJ do is news.
I think Jay said that. No, it wasn't Jay.
We'll figure that out by the end of the show.
It'll come to me. But yeah, I saw that they gonna air his hearing live. I'm like, damn. Like now he got to beg and grovel in front of the
public.
Yeah. Gotta cry and all kinds of crazy shit. But
should stay down with the culture.
I mean, if you watch that 30 for 30, you really understand it. Like OJ was a complex character. It's I never seen nothing like it. Like he literally turned his back on black everything. Yeah. And I'm not black, I'm OJ. Right. That was some real shit. Right. But he really lived that. He really lived in Brentwood for 20 plus years. And he killed that white lady and that guy, and it was like,
oh shit, I'm black.
Yeah. When he beat the case, you watched it. They had him in a black church with a dashiki on. I'm like, OJ done lost his fucking mind. Like, they was trying to put the hat on him, but
was too big.
His head was too big. like, this is nuts. But yeah, that was a complex story. It's just crazy that after all these years, he's still that compelling to the world. You know, we talking about 25, 30 years of OJ just being front page news. Shit is crazy. I told my girl, I'm like, he get out of jail, he's going to have the number one reality show on television. It's just what it is. You want to see, maybe he'll slip up and kill somebody on camera. That's why people gonna watch this shit. Cause it's like in your mind that OJ the fuck nuts.
He got away with murder.
Yeah. Double murder.
And the most fucked up part about that shit is the fact that we always talk about Nicole Brown getting killed. We never address Ron Goldman.
Never.
It's like, oh yeah, and that guy was there and shit.
Yeah, the bull.
the bull. The waiter bull.
Yeah.
OJ hawked him.
OJ stalked him and then hawked him. He came to the restaurant.
Why are you screaming like it's a slug? It's only the hawk. Like, OJ, crazy. He had blood in the Bronco, on his shoes, on his hands.
In the house. In the pathway.
They pulled the shoe prints out of the blood. What's the shoes? Bruno Malley's. They pulled the prints out of the blood and found the shoe and showed the shoe to OJ. OJ was like, I don't wear no ugly-ass shoes like that. Then they showed OJ a picture of him in the Bruno Malley. He's like, that shit was from the set. I don't look at that shit when they give it. Like, OJ was really nuts, yo. That's a wild boy. And crazy part is I want him to get out just because I want to see what happened. Just
watch the train wreck.
Yeah, I just want to see it. Like, I know it's gonna be funny. But can we go into this real quick? My homie at work the other day, he was looking at Lala on Instagram, and he said. He turned to me and was like, yo, it's amazing that Lala really finessed her way onto one of the best shows, like, ever. And I'm like, what show is she on other than Power? Yeah. And he was like, you don't think Power is one of the best shows ever? And I'm like,
why you don't think Power good?
It's horribly written.
Can I say this real quick?
Go ahead.
I disagree.
At Power, when you talk about greatly written shows, you talk about The Wire, you talk about Ballers. You talk about Billions. Breaking Bad.
You think Ballers is better than Power?
I think New York Undercover is better than Power.
I like Power, man. I'm contrary.
I like it, but I feel like it's the it show of the moment with black people on it. So that's why we watch it. Nothing on Power is realistic. If you watch The Wire, like the way Weebay and them was in the first season, Weebay had to go to jail. Remember him and Saravino shot Orlando for ratting, and they hit Kima, who was an undercover cop. Y'all going to jail because you don't kill witnesses and hit cops and not go to jail. Yeah. On Power, Tommy stabbed up a federal witness and was in jail for 20 minutes. He was in jail for half an episode. Yeah. It's like nothing on there. Like, if that was real life, they'd all have been dead already. Kanan kidnapped Tyreek and then was like, no, go ahead home.
Like, they resolved the shit so fast. Like,
the writing is insane.
All it took was punk-ass Dre to show up with a compelling story. He was like, all right, he could go home.
Nothing.
But you gonna give me $10,000 a week.
Nothing on there is realistic. There's no way on earth. We all black. Y'all got black parents, I'm assuming. There's no way there's no way you as a kid could go missing and somebody send your mom a picture of you with a husky ass arm around your neck, like give up the bread or else. And then you come walking in the crib and it's cool. Your mom you better be kidnapped. Cause your mom gonna beat the shit out of you. Or she gonna put you in a car like, let's go to fuck the Slim House.
Yeah, let's go where you was at.
You're not about to just chill. And the shit it's literally getting to the point now where it's just like, it's so unrealistic that it's like, come on, yo.
I think we buying into something different, though. People that like it. Like, we buy into the Ghost thing. We buy into the Tasha and Ghost thing. We buy into the 50. Like, we like it. Like, that's what...
I just hate the fact that Ghost is a ninja goon rat. Like, he dresses up in black, he killed niggas, and he tell on his enemies.
I was thinking about that. Like,
I'm sick
Ghost done killed 35 people
but he'll tell on you, too.
Shit is crazy.
Shit getting too deep.
I mean...
Shit getting too deep. We got to kill Milan. But I'm telling on motherfucking... Kanan though,
like think about this for a quick second. If you
know a lot of them,
if you watch The Wire, and I hate that I keep bringing up the two, but this is because
that's the comparison.
They go on the same shit. You don't kill connects and just go on with your life. These niggas killed Lobos and then killed Milan, and now they're the connect. How? Like, that shit don't just happen
You kill a Mexican connect or a Central American connect, the whole Central America comes down on you.
Right.
Did you watch the end of Scarface? Like, that's just for fucking up.
Tony was one of them, and they still brought the whole weight of the world down on this motherfucker.
But if you watch The Wire, like, the whole shit with Prop Joe, Marlo had to make good with the West Side, like the older West Side niggas, so that Avon could plug in with Sergey. And, you know, it's just a lot of different shit that had to go on just for certain things to happen. But in The Power, it's like, things happen and they just don't make sense.
They skip a lot of steps, and because they only, I think, doing like 10 episodes a season or some shit like
First
that.
season had 8. The last couple had 10.
So it's like, I think because of that, they condensing a lot. So they got to skip a lot of shit. But they still, she writes, Courtney Kemp is writing in that Shonda Rhimes scandal style where you always leave a cliffhanger at the end of every episode. It's fucking annoying because people don't write TV like that anymore. You got to resolve. Some shit got to get resolved. It's like you get certain evidence tossed and then, oh, now Angela has the laptop. Holy shit. Bitch, you're on the fucking case. You don't think to look at this laptop and see what you can uncover, at least for the fact of trying to convict the motherfucker.
Yeah.
If it's any type of logs or anything that he left open, any loose ends that he did. Oh, let me look at this laptop now that the evidence is getting kicked. Maybe he didn't do it. Oh, shit, he didn't do it. I'm a stupid ass bitch.
It's just to
Cut
me,
episode.
Like going to what you say, I like Omari Hardwick. I like what's the chick who plays Tasha? What's her real name?
Natari Naughton.
Natari Naughton. I've always liked her.
Yeah.
I fuck with 50.
Yeah.
I like these people. But the writing of the show, when you're more of a complex, like a thinker, and this ain't a diss to nobody, but just when you think about shit, you sit back and you like,
That don't make no sense.
yeah, this is, I
I
just
think but the masses is not like.
It's entertaining as
Y'all
fuck.
like-
Don't get me wrong, it's entertaining as fuck.
it's
but
entertaining.
I'm
yeah.
too analytical to
Yeah,
enjoy shit
right.
that
That's
don't have
what it is.
the continuity is fucked up.
Yeah.
And I took film continuity in school, so it's just like
See, you
this
got
shit
an
don't make no
advanced
sense.
Thinking of it, like that.
I mean, but it's just what you do as a human adult.
Yeah.
You just second level thinking, any type of thinking.
I like it better than the other show. What's the other show that people used to watch? Empire.
Oh, I don't even compare them.
That shit had all type of holes in it, and they would just abandon storylines completely and just go
and
to some other shit.
that's kind of what I think Power is doing now. It's like literally
Angela hasn't investigated the fact that Shorty is missing. Tommy girlfriend.
yeah.
She hasn't investigated Holly is missing at all. They just chalked it. Holly's dead. That's it. It's over.
They might tie it back in though.
Yeah, but we 4 seasons in. Holly got killed in season 2.
We 4 episodes into season 4, and they kicking one piece of evidence a episode.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't got but 6 more of these motherfuckers. Like, let's get on with the get on.
Like, think about this. Ghost, since the show has started, has killed 30-something people. I'm not trying to be funny. He killed Rolla. He killed Lobo. He's killed so many actual people. Nothing. This nigga dropped this fucking knife and did this on the window. And this nigga, it's so unbelievable that it's just like.
every week he does some shit that should get him killed or in jail. And he escapes
and he's
it.
back at Truth.
And he be back at Truth with a suit on,
Yeah.
like nothing ever happened. But he getting pickled for some shit that everybody knows he didn't do.
They messed me up. Did y'all see the one this week?
I'm gonna watch it when I go
I watched it.
Man, they. I ain't even. I see what y'all talking about, but
It's annoying.
it's still good though.
It's
I'm
entertaining.
going. I can't
It's
wait to
just
watch next week.
annoying. Like it's I'm there at 12:01 every Saturday. I'm like, I ain't going to the club yet. I'm locked in,
Yeah.
but I'm pissed at the end of every show because I gotta come back next week for this shit
Yeah.
again. Like,
But I like the microwave shit though. I ain't gonna lie to you. 'Cause I'm an Entourage fan. I like it nice and fast.
But
Give
see,
it to me on the platter.
this is, and I'm
That's how I
probably one
am.
of the biggest. I could literally tell you word for word every episode of Entourage. Entourage 1 through 5 were fucking great. 6 was like, all right, y'all kind of losing me. By the time Vince became a trap, this nigga every episode had the world coming down on him and would somehow weasel his way out. It just didn't think about season 4. They went broke and had to go back to New York. But if you look, that's where the shit started to unravel. He was fucked up, went back to New York. The nigga was at the bar and Ari walked in like, here go Martin Scorsese. Hello? Shit ends. Season 5, this nigga got Ferraris and that's how it starts. It's like you don't even see the climb back.
I like it. I don't like the drawn out shit.
No, but what I'm saying is it's just that was where to me it was like the storylines just fell apart.
Yeah.
And by the time season 8 came along, it was like, nah. I think it just literally got. And then once you saw the movie, it was like, y'all killing me. Like I'm happy this is done now. You know what I mean?
Yo, have any of y'all seen Snowfall yet?
No, I heard about it.
That shit, that's the best show on television.
Bro.
It's better than Billions?
Well, Billion's not on right now. That's running actively right now. It's on FX. Yo, they pushed this. That's like an HBO show on FX. The character shit with that John is crazy. It's set in the 80s, South Central, and it shows the beginning of the crack trade rise from cocaine to crack, the presence of the CIA, and the inner city shit is crazy. One episode, you like, yo.
I'm going to check that out.
That shit crazy.
Man. Check it out.
I'm like, I ain't watching no more Power, but 12:01 Sunday, I'll be there watching Power again. But Snowfall, crazy.
Like my homie at work the other day was like, so what shows historically do you think have been written better than Power? I'm like, Saved by the Bell.
A Different World.
I'm like, we can start all the way back in the 80s. There's so much shit that has been written better than this show. It don't even make sense, yo. But like I said, we fans of them and of the show.
Yeah.
It's the it show for, I guess you could say, black culture for the moment. Yeah. So we fans, like he say, I'm there every week. But get it fucked up. 12:01, I'm like, yes, it's a big rich town, baby. 12:57, I'm like, I know this shit ain't about to go the fuck off like this. That's how you are every week. Cause
we emotionally attached to it as a culture, definitely.
Like if you look back on The Wire and like, cause I watched The Wire from the beginning. Stinkum got killed in the 7th episode. Weebay was in jail in episode 8. That was when they boarded the Greeks. Prop Joe, all of that shit. But into season 1, Avon was in jail. Here come Marlo. Here come Cheese. It's you in the drug. Like I've never seen a drug dealer just kill people and sell boatloads of drugs and then just be at the club. Like it's just like
Get my man a bottle of Dom Perignon.
It's people who it's people I know who trap and been trapping for years, but they be going to jail. They be having real life things going on, especially when you on that type.
Yeah.
Like it just make. Ghost just at career day, telling the kids, like, it's just
always the best case scenario.
It's just crazy watching it sometimes. Yeah. With that being said, I'm gonna watch the new episode when I go home. But I just like he said, Courtney Kemp style
She's
of writing.
stressing me the fuck out, man.
It's so annoying.
That's why I stopped watching Scandal. I said I can't do this shit every week with you, Shonda Rhimes. Like I can't. Like great show. I can't do this every fucking week. Like the who done it shit and the. Well, what had happened was I'm tired of that shit, man. Resolve something.
Yeah.
Please.
Or this is the like think about this.
It's
another Joan with Power. Season 4, episode 4. No significant character of the show is dead other than Sean. Think about that. Like in a drug world, like nah. Every other
and two connects are dead.
Yeah, well, 2 connects, yeah.
No, but Sean is a main character. Out of all the main characters, he's the only one that's died. Fucking Game of Thrones killed the fucking the Hand of the North, episode 2. They put his fucking head on a stake.
Yeah.
That's
that's my point in what I'm trying to make with The Wire. Like the main characters of season 1 was D'Angelo, Avon, Stringer. Avon went to jail. D'Angelo went to jail, got killed in jail. Stringer got killed. You got to bring in new people. You got to bring in the kids. You got to bring in Marlo, Chris, Snoop. It's Prop Joe. Because he had to go.
And the reason why, the story is more important than the characters.
So I remember because we used to all watch Power at Shiz Crib. Wire at Shiz Crib. I remember the night Omar got killed. I mean, it was like people were going crazy, and it's like, yo, Omar should have been dead like a season ago. But and when I saw Doug Simon actually say. Omar was only supposed to be in the Wire for 6 episodes, but he was like the feedback we got on his character, we stretched out, and luckily he was like we had writers who were good enough. They changed the way the whole 2nd season of the Wire was supposed to be because they had to keep Omar in it, and he was like it just it made sense to have him going at it with the drug dealers, and that became a storyline in itself. So. My Jones, I tell my girl that I feel like Power is like already written and no one wants to change anything. I feel like they got like the next 2-3 seasons just already done, and they're like, yeah, whatever. So that's where my annoyance comes from. It's just the writing, not the actual show, or the characters, but the writing of it.
Yeah, y'all look at it through a different lens.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Different perspective, I guess you could say. But it would, like I said, with that being said, I'm trying to get the hell out of here so I can go watch the new episode tonight.
With that being said,
where we want to go? Tax?
yeah, that's Tax is in a jam once again in another jam. Tax was formally indicted for the murder of Ronald Banger McFadder. This goes back to the wild shootout that they had at Irving Plaza. I think it was April of 2016.
Yeah, it was about a little over a year ago.
April of 2016. Banger McFadder was Troy Ave's friend, bodyguard, and all that. And there's a whole shit storm that resulted from this one fucking outing where all of these people who hated each other ended up in the same venue. And now Taxstone pleading guilty to the weapons charge on a federal level has now opened up the connection to him possessing the murder weapon, thus being the murderer of Banger. And now he's gotten charged with second-degree murder in New York State. He is a predicate felon on his third strike with now interstate trafficking weapons charge, discharging the weapon in public place, and now the murder charge. And it's basically like all signs point to like Taxes like in the bushes. So it's an unfortunate situation all the way around. And it's just crazy to see because this guy was like on his, way up and out, and some street shit has derailed his whole life. So I don't know how y'all feel about it or what y'all thoughts is on it.
It's like I wanna feel sorry for him. I do, because I liked him, and I do feel sorry for him in a certain way because I was a fan of Tax season.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I was a fan of who he had become as far as his media voice. But I'd basically be lying because the way I talk and the way I live my life and the way I talk, that I don't always say, niggas just can't get out of the way of nigga shit. And it's like, here we go again, where you got a young, relatively young, I can't think Tax is older than 35.
He's 32.
I can't, like I said, he my age. Throwing it all away when you had the opportunity to make sure your mom, your kid, everybody around you, your friends, everything was in just a way better situation than what y'all grew up in or what you were accustomed to. And to see it thrown away for some bullshit, not some life-altering shit, not somebody touched your kid or somebody. Like, y'all just going at it for the sake of going at it. And now that man dead. Troy Ave's career is pretty much in the bushes. You pretty much in. It's just like, man, dog. Like, it's just stupid shit. And for me, it's like, I can't applaud it. I can't like it's just for what? It really makes no sense. You threw away a great situation.
Yeah, they said Charlamagne said that his TV show was getting greenlit that same week. Like that, all that shit happened. They already had the approval of it about the green lighted show on MTV2 or whatever, and then it's just like Tax locked up, like, which is crazy.
That's why sometimes it's important when you grow up in these urban neighborhoods that you separate yourself from that type of shit. Like, so I feel like you have to, because those type of moments, like when you try to live up to a certain name or you try to still dibble and dabble, that's what it come with. Like, you got in his position, he should have been separating himself from it.
Yeah. It's just, to me, it's just,
You gotta be smarter, man.
it's a salty situation.
Yeah.
It's just nutty.
Yes.
But it's hard for us though. It'd be more like our ego and principles that we grew up on. Sometimes you gotta hand, like when you in that position, you gotta handle it different. When we had the situation that just happened recently out Baltimore, where it was where we were trying to get the artists, it was like our attitude can't, like somebody from out there made a comment like, yo, they playing dirty, so y'all gotta play just as dirty. And it's like, no, like that ain't what we, like this ain't that. Like we out here trying to build
Right, we
a
doing legit business.
multi-million-dollar company. Like
Yeah.
we ain't getting caught up in like, oh, cause somebody might have snicked the situation. It's like, this ain't the street shit. Like we running a business and that's how we gonna carry it. So like remove that whole idea of like, oh, we gonna do something dirty because somebody did something dirty to us. Like, no, we ain't doing nothing dirty. We building a brand. And
That's a great ass point. Let's go back to what you were saying about Suge. Like, you ruined a $500 million company
Yeah.
right
on some bullshit.
On some bullshit.
And like,
because you wanted to.
And like with that documentary, not to go back to it, but you hear DOC and Dre both like, it got to the point where it was like, I'm not even coming to the studio because y'all just on too much
But the
weird
thing
shit.
is,
up
it's
here.
like, yo, you saw what Eric did and how he fucked the situation up with NWA, and you took it to another level by introducing violence to it on top of the bad business.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like, yo, it's like everybody's making money. Y'all doing tens of millions in billing every single month, and you just want to have 1 million Rampart police officers and Bloods up here beating niggas up, pissing on people. Like,
Always
why?
peeing on people. What's up with y'all?
Like, why? What
Oh,
type of...
oh, real quick. What was the funniest? Y'all watched the Defiant ones, right? Y'all watched it.
I watched
What was the funniest part of the whole joint?
The funniest part of the whole joint.
Dog. When they was at the Source Awards in '95, the whole, East Coast got a love for Zoo, and Nas was, because they had Nas on the joint. Nas was giving his whole synopsis of what was going on. He was like, it was like Snoop was on stage. I'm like, I know this nigga not about to say fuck New York, because he was like, I'm looking around the crowd and it's Death Row and they got all these Crips and Bloods with them and they ready to go down, and the camera like showed where Death Row was sitting. He was like, then it was Bad Boy and it was like all these Brooklyn and Harlem niggas and they ready for it to go down, and then the camera showed Bad Boy and he was like, then Wu-Tang was over there and I know they ready for war. They cut the camera on where Wu-Tang was sitting. It was a nigga in the crowd with a ninja mask and a sword just sitting there. I'm like, yo, Wu-Tang niggas was off the hook. My man had a sword on his back just chilling in the crowd. I'm like, that was the funniest shit on earth. But it's like, yeah, man, it's like that Source Award shit, like Nas was saying on the joint, it was like, I can see the headline now. Stupid niggas get together for stupid nigga awards. Rap ends in a bloodbath.
Suge could have died that
Dog.
day. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. And not to say that it wouldn't have been bloodshed on the other side, but it was like when you away from home, you have to be respectful of your surroundings.
Yeah.
Like, you can't come in nobody's house and piss on their couch.
No.
Like, and that's essentially
Fuck
what
your
he
couch,
did.
nigga. You get your legs beat.
Yeah, you get your legs beaten. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like we've seen too many instances where people be overzealous and over aggressive, and then they end up getting beat the fuck up. That video online, New York Sun,
Oh, yeah, the
Arizona nigga beat him to
White
death.
boy beat him to death.
Beat
yeah.
him to death. Like,
But like Snoop was saying, like he was like, when I got on the stage and I could feel that energy, like I gotta match energy with energy, but I gotta match it with love. And Snoop was like, Nas said it. Just him saying that, we know where we at, East Coast in the house. It relieved pressure.
He said it was like, he's like, we want to fuck these niggas up,
It's
but
like,
because he said that, y'all get to walk out of here.
We gonna let y'all walk out of here.
But
you
get the
better
fuck out of
here. And it's like, like you said, it's so much testosterone and aggression that gets pumped into young black men that they go out in the streets and niggas be ready to kill, do it like for nothing.
About nothing.
It be nothing.
It be times where we gotta tell each other, like when stuff happen or when we get certain type of news, like we might be in a hotel room spazzing, like, or I might be being vocal about how I feel about something, and then Steph might be like, all right, cool, but that ain't how we about to handle it.
Like me,
or like that ain't what we bought. Like we always bounce stuff and we always try to game plan.
Chad, no, me and Chad talk about it a lot. It's like, it's just, I've gotten to the point where I don't even put myself in certain places. Just for what? Because I know I'm not going to be able to match that aggression because my life ain't like that. I wake up every morning, I'm on a positive vibe where it's like, yo, how can we be better than we was yesterday? Right. I can't do that goofy shit. We was talking about it the other day in the group chat. Like, one of our homies was like, yeah, somebody was trying to get us to come to a spot in the city that a bunch of bullshit happens at. And he was like, man, I got all this going on. Why the hell would I come there? And I was like, yeah, because I don't have any of that going on. And I'm still like, why the hell would I come there? It's like, I'm not coming to that fucking place. And that's kind of how I've gotten. It's like, I'm cool. It's way too much silly. Every time I see this place in the headlines of young nigga life, it's some bullshit. What the fuck would I come there for?
Right.
When I'm trying to, eat dollar jumbo shrimp and just fucking relax. It's like, no, that's just stupid. But that's really where it is. It's like, I feel like black people just gotten to the point where they just can't go out and enjoy themselves without bringing the bullshit with them. And that's kind of what happened in the tax situation. It's like, they weren't on 145th and Lenox. They weren't at the park.
Manhattan.
They were at Urban Plaza. Y'all know. You think about that. The film or like y'all at a real live place, a real live. And this wasn't no bullshit. This was a T.I. concert.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm gonna kill niggas tonight. It's just like. It's just dumb and it's sad as shit, man. Like looking back on it,
it's like a Shakespeare fucking film. It's a Shakespeare book. It's like
Modern day
tragedy all around the shit. It's like fucking taxes the fucking what do you call it? The unlikely hero that everybody fucking loves, and then you go and you shoot these niggas the fuck up. Now you got a gun charge, you got a murder charge. This nigga's dead. Who otherwise, if he wasn't with Troy Ave, y'all probably would have been friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If Troy Ave wasn't such a weirdo, y'all might have been. You know what I'm saying? It's just like so much to it to where it's like, if anybody takes a step back and removes himself from the situation and looks at it like, we look like dickheads, like all the way around, like it's a stupid situation. And it went on, the build-up went on for a year and a half, 2 years. Nobody stepped in and stopped it. Or if they did, they weren't successful or they didn't try hard enough to prevent it from what it ended up fucking being.
That's a great point. That no one could intervene on this situation. Like, there was no Farrakhan's, there was no Russell Simmons.
There was nobody that
nothing.
could like go to Jay-Z and be like, yo, just tell Tex cool the fuck out.
And
You
the
know what I'm
crazy
saying?
part is like, my thing is like, when you talk about Russell Simmons and Farrakhan and all that, doing this with the rappers who aren't gonna kill anybody.
Yeah, they gonna kill
it's
nothing,
like,
they gonna let nothing die.
how do y'all not step in with people who will actually go there? Like, dog, we gotta stop this. Y'all tripping. This man ain't disrespect your mom. He ain't do nothing crazy to your family. It's like, let this shit go and go
And
on
the
about your
nature
business.
of it, for him to do what he did, not only to do it, but to do it in New York City, in Manhattan, where everything is under surveillance. That shit is like being in a big ass casino. Like, you do anything in Manhattan, you're going to jail, fam. Like, it ain't no two ways about it. You do anything in public somewhere in Manhattan with your face exposed, you going to jail.
I was saying
Flat
the other
out.
day to my homie that it's amazing where we at now in society and how the cameras and the eyes in the sky catch. You saw the guy got killed in Greece the other day. Rolled on, the guys beat him to death and shit. That shit was on camera. Like, you literally can't get away with things now. Like, you do something, it's probably on camera.
Yeah,
If it ain't on a camera up there, somebody's filming you.
Yeah.
Right.
Guys
In the
gotta-
city of Philadelphia, they give out money to you. Like, they reimburse you if you put like cameras that spot certain stuff. If
Oh,
you
yeah?
have a
Yeah,
business,
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Guys got to remember it's bigger than you too. Like tax, like it should. If you got kids, your kids, like you messed it up for everybody.
Yeah.
Like you got like going back to the Source Awards thing. You looked at how Suge handled it and how Puff handled it. I remembered it. Like I remember that Source Awards like it was yesterday. I recorded on the VHS, John. The
Yeah.
I had it, but Puff went up there and he like, listen, I'm a positive black man. And he went through his whole thing like this ain't about no East and West thing. And you look at how his career went, and Suge was on his thug shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you gotta take the high road.
Like, they was
man.
in New York. Puff could have got up
Yeah.
there like a... And
Yeah,
Puff
he
could have
coulda.
straight been like, stone him.
Yeah.
And they'd have
And it was
died.
going down.
Yeah. So,
But you gotta be more focused. Than
And
that,
think
man.
about it. Suge was thugging to the end. He
To the
showed
end.
up to the movie set on some gangster shit.
Mm-hmm.
Got spooked. Somebody pulled a hammer on him. Got spooked. Ran over Terry and the boy Bone. Killed them and skirted off. And now you about to do 30 years in jail for a
And
fucking
one
double
thing I
murder.
thought was interesting was the fact that you never really hear Dre call Suge names or
Yeah.
talk bad about him, but to hear Dre
like,
on
this
part
fucking
4,
idiot.
like this fucking idiot, it's like we having Compton Day. Everybody the fuck here, Kendrick here, Game here, I'm here, Cube out here, everybody the fuck out here.
you show up on some gangster
and
shit.
you show up on the bullshit, and it's just like, dog, like for what?
And you gotta respect Dre for getting out of that shit too. Like he ain't care.
Dre
Like,
walked
some
away
guys
from
would've been-
two multi-million-dollar situations with nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I believe in me. I'm
Yeah.
going to figure it out.
His lawyer said, Dre, you own half of Death Row. You could get millions out of this. He said, I don't want nothing. And he took the high road and look at what he built. You know what I mean? So you gotta take the high road on that stuff.
If
man.
anything, this should show listeners like that you can always make a decision. Like, I'm gonna be positive or I'm gonna be on the bullshit.
Yep.
The bullshit might get you some claim. Motherfuckers might be, oh, he a real nigga. They're gonna be dumb. But you go on the positive road, yo, the flip side, never know where you could take it, dog. It's like, I just feel like us as black people have to stop with the dumb shit. We have to stop glorifying it. We have to stop looking up to it.
You got to stop sharing it on social media.
Stop sharing it. Stop talking about it. Stop praising it. All that shit.
Yeah.
It's like you supposed to make motherfuckers like you the oddball. You the out. Like you on some other shit. But motherfuckers now it's like they see somebody on some other shit and be like, I like that nigga.
Right.
No, nah.
And it pushed the culture further back for like even things that we doing, right? Like
Bingo.
we going to these venues and we telling them like we trying to create a dope experience and we want in the artists that we booking, every artist that we've had thus far has been black. It's like, so yeah, although we bringing all different types of crowds out, like we don't need them looking at a Troy Ave situation or the Textone situation and feeling like, we might not want to do urban shows.
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
Like you even see people now deteriorating from the urban shows. Like we kind of one of the only boutique style concert promotion companies around. Like other than the major companies, nobody else is really.
It stinks because there's just so much bullshit that comes with dealing with. We was talking about a couple shows ago, nigger night at the club. Like it's just so much bullshit that goes into that, and it's messed up because we just was talking about. Our culture is the shit. Like the hip hop culture is the truth, but. Couple dumb niggas will ruin it.
And the problem is, when niggas get upset, we don't fight, we shoot.
Yeah.
We fight first, shoot right after that.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I can have my safe college night with, no offense, a bunch of white boys and college age people, and the worst is gonna happen, they gonna get too loaded on Bud Light, and they might fight for 10 minutes, and then it's fucking over.
And they gonna duke it out.
Yeah, they gonna
duke it out.
But that's gonna be the end of it, and they might leave in the same car for all we know.
I was in Kavanaugh's one night. Them white boys started rumbling. We didn't move from our, and this is just how crazy it is. We in there, it's me and about 4 of my homies. We all black. White boys start rumbling. I mean, mixing, throwing chairs at each other. We didn't move. We just was watching it.
Right.
Because we know it
ain't us.
It's not us. But it's not going past.
Yeah.
Them chinos ain't nobody got no hammers in them. But it's like, if that's young black
if
dudes.
Raheem and Tyron get into it, they're going to shoot this whole shit up. People that don't got nothing to do with it.
Cook dead. Crossing guard dead, ice cream man down the street dead.
A nigga walked in Burger Lane a couple months ago and shot the cook in the chest.
That's crazy.
Over some shit that a rapper did. Why does the cook gotta die over some shit that a rapper did at a bar on the other side of town?
Yo.
This is why nigger night is not happening. It's banned. This is why. Y'all don't know how to hit. Y'all won't pick up a book, but you'll pick up a gun. This is the problem.
I was going to come to nigga night, but nah, I'm chill. I'm going to go in the house, man. I'm cool today. That's fucked
you
up.
might lose your life, and it don't have nothing to do with you.
And that's the saddest part, honestly. How old are you, man?
29.
Oh, yeah? Young. How old are you?
36.
Yeah, it's like we all same age. And it's just like, y'all know, because we from this thing. Remember where it was like you could literally go places and it just wasn't no dumb shit? You like
sure.
the looming thought of that just wasn't there. But now it's like, I'm at a cookout too long. I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
It was just certain places that you knew wasn't nothing going to happen.
Yesterday, my man Sneaker Pimp, he was at a cookout. He was like, "Yo, cookout lit. This show rolling." His next tweet, like 23 minutes later, was like, "All right, somebody just walked out here in a hoodie. It's time for me to get the fuck out of here." Like, yo, it's 92 degrees, but this nigga got a hoodie on.
Got the ooh-wop in the hoodie pocket.
Like, that is always looming. That is some bullshit going to pop off. So it's like,
man, I went to the pit for basketball games like 3 summers ago. Went to 2 times I went, beginning of the summer, end of the summer. The result, both times, I had to run. And duck for cover. Yeah. Both times, nigga pulled a K out one time, and nigga pulled a 40 out the other time. And I'm just like, yo, I'm not coming here no more. I'm grabbing my cousins, like trying to.
I used to coach summer league games. I remember it was like 6 games that night. We had the last game, and I was standing in front of my bench, and my man Zach, who I had it was 18 and under. Zach was like 32, but nobody knew. But Zach was at the line. Zach was horsing these niggas too. Zach was at the line, and Zach couldn't shoot foul shot to save his life. And he shot the first. He's left-handed. He shot the first shot, and when the ball hit the rim, that shit was like, pow! I'm like, yeah, you bricked the hell out of that joint. And everybody was looking around. Then you just seen people running. Boom, 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 and taking out. When the shit was all done, it was like nigga was trying to buy a gun, but they started arguing over the price and mayhem. And I'm like, what? Like,
why did y'all come to the basketball court to do a gun deal?
Exactly. But it's just like, this is really what be happening. And it's like, damn, dog, we out here for a basketball tournament. And it's just like silly shit.
Nothing is safe, man. Where can you go? Where can you go? Who can you trust?
Yeah.
Nowhere and nobody. That's the answer. This shit is goofy.
You want to stay on murder or
Stay on murder.
you want to talk about the kid in Bucks County?
Did y'all hear about this situation with the?
So we was in Baltimore from Tuesday.
Bear
We
was
was in
waiting.
Baltimore from Thursday to Thursday. So we missed it. I
we missed
ain't even know about it until you sent me the.
So this kid, Cosmo DiNardo from Bucks County, apparently he was luring people. His family has a farm. He got like a rich family. They got a farm. They got a successful construction business, successful concrete business. And he was luring kids his age, 19, 20, 22, to his parents' farm under the setup that I'm going to sell you some weed. So his plan was to lure them there and rob them, which what are you going to do with them after you rob them if they came in your car? Like he was going to pick them up, bring them back to the farm to rob them, and then ended up killing all of them. And buried them, crushed their bodies with a backhoe, scooped their bodies up with the backhoe, threw them in a container, and tried to burn their bodies. And then, when that didn't work, buried them in a 12-foot grave on the property.
Insane.
20 years old. He had gotten arrested last October for being mentally unstable in possession of a 20-gauge shotgun. So they took away all his rights to bear arms, like his permits to publicly carry and shit. Ended up getting dismissed, so he got him back. And then a couple months later, this shit happens.
See, we all got our issues. Man.
Yeah.
Black people. What was,
The shit made world news.
Yeah.
It made world news, and it turns out his cousin was an accomplice. They both told in order to take the death penalty off the table, but it's like now they both telling different stories or whatever. Like they both telling the end result is the same, but they both telling different stories of who killed who and how what happened, and it's just like a whole crazy ass thing. And if it wasn't for these cadaver dogs that the police had, they wouldn't have found their bodies because they were so deep underground.
That's a scary situation. When they come in, like, tell us what happened, we'll take the death penalty off the table. You like, damn, so that's just life.
We
huh?
know
Like,
you did it.
You know, yeah, like that's crazy.
And the way that they found out that he did it, and I think the kid is mentally disturbed, but that ain't gonna get him off for no quadruple homicide. But he was trying to sell one of the guy's cars
Yeah, for a nickel.
for $500. Like I'm saying, and the police tracked the stolen car and the fact that it was a missing persons report on the kid.
Right.
Fuck you doing with this car? You coming with us? They bring him in last Wednesday. He posts bail, $1 million bail. He posts bail for receiving stolen property. Blah blah blah. They come back, get him on Thursday. Suspicion of murder, $5 million bail, but the bail revoked. And then they start getting into all of the fine details and shit. Then once they found them bodies, they're like, listen, we're going to take the death penalty off the table, but you're going to tell us what the fuck happened. And then they told him his cousin brought his cousin in. And his cousin like, no, well, he did all the killing. I was there for it, da-da-da. I went with him to get the guys and this and that. And it's just like a crazy, weird-ass situation. All these guys between 19 and 23.
So
Who
was
they
the
like
cousin
or what?
was the cousin with him for the murders, or was the cousin like
Cousin was
there
with him-
after the murders?
No, weird, for the murders.
Oh, okay.
So he like describing like, yeah, he they was, negotiating or whatever. The one guy was supposed to have $8,000 and he got there, was like, only got 800. All right, cool. I'm gonna sell you a QP. Pull a 357 out, shoot him in the back. His man go to run, shoot him, drag his body back, crush him
All
with a
this
back.
about some petty shit.
About nothing.
If your parents had $1 million to post bail, you shouldn't be trying to rob nobody about a quarter pound. Like that shit is the
y'all saw the
craziest
Wash.
shit to me.
Remember the Wash, Snoop and Dre?
Yeah.
The movie. You just said that he told him he had 8,000, but he showed him he had 800. Remember the bull was trying to sell with the.
Yeah, he's like all of this. Like, what,
I give you
for
all of this for what was it, $5,000?
Yeah.
I got yeah, it was 5,000.
He's like,
right?
man, I got about $600.
He's like, I got no motherfucking 5,000. I got $600 I'm trying to spend. He's like, okay, you can have everything here for $600.
He's like, I rode here from Humboldt County on this scooter.
That nigga started, look, I'm not selling you weed. Snoop was like, what? He was like, I'll sell you the bong and the weed is free. That way I'm not dealing. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, true story. It's like, yo, your family got $1 million to put up for your bail. Why are you out here killing
And they would have put up
motherfuckers?
they would have put up the 500
Yeah.
for the other bail if they wouldn't have revoked the bail, but they said it was a flight risk.
Yeah.
So
like,
they just
why
started-
the fuck is you at? That's mentally challenged. There's no
Yeah.
way around it. Like, he's clearly nuts.
Yeah, he's still gonna get 80 years though. That's for sure.
Yeah, he ain't never come home.
He never come home.
Did they
It's
say he
just-
was on medication or some shit like that?
He ain't on no medication? So that's probably the whole thing. It's like neglect.
Was he supposed to be on
I
medication?
think he probably was never diagnosed. But the whole reason why they took him to trial for the shotgun shit because it was a legally purchased shotgun. But they saying like, yo, you got a history of mental illness. What the fuck you doing with a 20 gauge shotgun?
Yeah.
You can kill everybody in this motherfucker. Like, you need to be out of here, dog.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, and it made world news. Like, somebody called me. I was already following it locally, and then somebody was like, yo, it's about to come on world news, 6:30. Cut the news on. And then they seen it, and they was like, they still haven't figured out the motive yet, though. That's what it's just like, he like piecing them like information or whatever, but they still don't have the motive as of, you know, why he even started the whole, you don't have no weed for sale. Like, why did you come up with this, like,
yeah, when a nigga who don't got weed call you like, yo, you trying to buy a pound? It's like, you gotta be like, no. Like, what the fuck?
It just amazed me though. Like alongside this concert promotion company that I have, I'm also a dean of students, and
That was interesting when I found that out.
yeah,
And he was like, yeah, Mir's a dean at the school. I'm like, what Mir? And he was like, Mir. I'm like, only Mir I know is Dope Show's Mir. He was like, yeah. I'm like,
yeah,
like,
it's a hell of a juggle.
yeah.
But it's just crazy to me when I hear, like, even just hearing Chad tell the story is like, other cultures, they go right to that, but they don't talk about the trauma and the shit that we go through as kids. Like, that shit fuck you up mentally too. Like,
Yeah.
we naturally aggressive. We naturally go through things, but the moment like, oh, a white kid go make up a story about selling weed and do some shit, is like, yo, he mentally ill. It's like, but they don't consider those same things. Like, I see it every day. So many of our kids is affected by these same things. Like, I got kids in my school that watch their dad get killed in front of them. Like, watch him take his last breath. You don't think that that's going to affect his entire life? But it's like, the moment we get caught up in some shit, they like, oh yeah, we sending him away
throw
forever.
the book at him.
Yeah, the death penalty never come off the table. But it's like, oh, you mentally ill because of all this other bullshit.
Like when that
It's
kid
just
from
crazy.
Yeah,
Stanford.
you're absolutely right.
when
He ain't lying.
When
did
that
it.
kid from Stanford raped that black girl behind the bleachers, she passed out.
Well, she wasn't black.
No, they said they tried to make it seem like these kids witnessed a crime that DiNardo's drug dealer committed and offered to erase a debt he owed in order to stop the case from proceeding. What the fuck? So, holy shit. So this is so somebody put him up. So just basically somebody put him up to this in order to clear his debt. So he didn't get killed. He got to kill them. What the fuck?
Yeah,
It's like what the fuck is going on in Bucks County? Like,
No.
yo, Bucks County, what's going on right now, yo? Like, god damn, y'all listening to too much motherfucking early 50 Cent, man. Y'all playing games. I'm taking this shit super duper deep and serious.
That playing game shit always fucks me up.
Yo, man, a quadruple murder
Yeah, to clear a debt.
to clear a debt. How much money
How much
did
did
he
you
owe?
owe?
Yo, I never told this story before. Listen, right? My man is fucking scumbag. I'm not going to say his name, but he's a fucking scumbag, right? This motherfucker made me pretend to be his bookie and act like I was
You
gonna,
told me this
and
story.
act like I was going to kill him if he didn't pay a gambling debt to defraud his family out of his trust fund.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like $20,000. It's fucking.
He's
like the middle of the summer. I got on a black.
I was about to say,
sweatsuit.
tell him the story. Tell him the outfit.
It's the middle of the summer. I got on a black Nike
You the boy that
sweatsuit.
showed up at the cookout with the
Yeah,
hoodie on.
exactly.
Oh shit.
He like,
man.
yo, he's talking, man, I need you to do your best Chris Portlow impersonation. I show up to meet this dickhead. I get in the back of the car. I got a hoodie on, a do-rag.
This nigga told me he had a do-rag
in the
on.
middle of the
I
summer.
fell on the floor.
In the middle of the summer, I get in the car. He in the driver's seat, his dad in the passenger seat. He passed me the bag. I'm like, yo, this all hair? He like, yeah. I said, nigga, is it all hair? You fucking playing games, man. I gotta sell. He like, you gotta sell it. I'm like, nigga, you playing games? You sure? All right, man, cool. I'm gonna get with you. It's like $24,000 or some shit. This motherfucker called me. He's like, yo, that shit worked, man. I'm like, yo, why are you like this?
Yo. No way he could have took me. I'd have burst out laughing and ruined that shit for everybody. Yo. Oh my god.
You just as fucked up for doing it.
Doing it. He paid me too.
This nigga came to my crib was like, yo, I had on a do-rag.
He talking about, no, man.
What?
He's like, no, man, it's like 200 something in the fun. They playing games, man. I'm trying to tap into this shit. I'm trying to pay this 2 Jones off and get this new crib. You know what I'm saying? The crib only like $800 a month. I'm trying to pay the rent for 6 months so I get approved. They won't give me no money. So if I tell them I'm gambling again, then, you know, fuck it. I can get the job. I said, yo, you a horrible nigga. And I'm just as horrible for going through with it for you. But I told him, I said, yo, you know, if I was really fucked up, I could have burnt you for this money and there was nothing you could do about it. You couldn't call the police on me. There's nothing you could do. You would have just been beat out of like 24,000. Like, you'd have had to just chalk it. And we'd have just had to go through something. DiNardo owed a guy money, and those kids were testifying against the guy from an assault at Temple from May. Is the guy black? That's what we got to figure out.
Yeah, you got to figure that out.
We got to figure out, like, what fear of God he put in him to say, is he Italian mobster or some shit? Like, who the fuck are they dealing with? Joey Merlino's son or some shit? Like, who could convince you to do a quadruple murder?
For some money.
Like, over a day.
Like, you ain't even get to live yet.
20 years old.
20 years old.
Yeah.
You ain't even get to experience life.
I mean, that's a lot of these young motherfuckers, though. Motherfuckers be out here getting caught up in murder and all that shit when they be 16, 17 years old. So,
Shit.
it's just mayhem.
That'd be the mentality that a lot of our kids have. So another through my sitting pretty business, we had like I employed like 7 my students, and we talk all the time about like different stuff, and their perspective be more on that. Like, yo, I'm willing to die about that, or like this person burnt me for $300. Like, they gotta go, and they be like, yo, you know how much stuff you could experience in life, but you getting caught up in this thing in the moment. It's just sad.
Yeah, that's the saddest part.
So apparently, the guy who orchestrated all this is a 21-year-old white kid from 10 minutes away from where we are sitting right now, and he got arrested 7 blocks from here for the crime that he originally did. Got in contact with Cosmo. Yo, these kids testifying against me. I fucked them up, whatever the fuck. Fucked some guy up down Temple a couple months ago, and I need you to kill all of them. Not witness intimidation, witness murder. Like, fuck witness intimidation. Go kill him. Holy shit, man. And with that being said, this next segment of the show is sponsored by my guy Will Warren and his Rooftop brand. They're doing the first Rooftop Toronto event at Carabana the 4th of August, 2017, at the Cabana Pool Bar, hosted by LeBron James. Please grab your tickets online at rooftoptor.eventbrite.com. That's rooftop.tor.eventbrite.com. Shout out my guy Will Warren sponsoring the show, and this is going to be the first of many ads that he does with us going forward. That's my guy Will from Mitchell and Ness.
Where the party at?
In Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Philly guys, you know, blowing their brand up. They just did a rooftop joint BET weekend for the BET Awards. They did one in D.C., and now they doing one with LeBron James in Toronto. And this is like the culmination of, you know, 2 years worth of work that he put in solidifying his joint, man. So, you know, we working, man.
That's
Philly
what we
guys
need to be
getting to
focused
it.
on, man. Like, all this BS, we need to be focused on stuff like that,
Yeah.
stuff like what y'all doing. Like, we got to do better for our kids, man. We got to do better for kids that we gonna have, or you know, our families.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean, so that's dope.
Absolutely, man. We got just got the timer. We got 30 minutes left for the show.
Damn, we an hour and a half in already?
Yeah, man. Good conversation going to carry.
Shit.
Have y'all been keeping up with the Floyd and Connor shit?
Yeah.
The minstrel show that they've been putting on. This shit is like straight out of Vince McMahon playbook.
It's absolutely
Yo,
ridiculous.
they're wilding.
I'm out on that.
I love Floyd, man, but it's just a shit show at this point. It's
But
like,
it shows you that they're trying to sell a bad product.
yeah.
Like, because they going over the top, and it's like what they allowing and doing on both sides is like, y'all are clearly in this together because ain't nobody got upset yet. Like, he rubbed Floyd head the other day. Connor had the pinstripe suit on that said "fuck you" in the pinstripes. I'm like, yo, what is wrong with y'all?
He
Like,
said what fucked me up was when he said what was the Rocky with the monkeys, and I'm like, what the fuck monkeys was
It's
in
like
Rocky.
with the dancing monk, with the training monkeys.
And then they cut to Rocky 3 where it was a bunch of black dudes training, and I'm like, oh. I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's ridiculous. I'm not buying it. I'm not ordering it. Just, I'll check it out on, like, I get the X&Me forum. Shit costs
I'm going to watch it on Twitter.
You go X&Me. Well, I shouldn't put it all out there. But you can go to a forum for $1.98 and watch the shit in HD. So
I'm going to watch it on Twitter for free. I'm going to just search Floyd versus Conor on Twitter and watch it for free on my phone.
It's like Floyd done retired twice. He black greatness. I ain't going to talk too bad about him. But after this one, let's just stop, man.
Let's relax.
It's like Conor doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
And like, I've watched world-class boxers, like the best of the best, like Oscar De La Hoya,
hit this guy.
Canelo Alvarez, Zab Judah, Manny Pacquiao. They can't hit him. So I just don't understand why these beer-drinking white folks think Conor McGregor.
If Conor lands one big shot, fight strategy is like the most ridiculous shit I ever heard. And people like, but no, what if he does? I'm like, it's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Like, we got 20 years of empirical evidence that
Honestly,
this shit is impossible.
Like, this is the shit that I was talking to you before about black greatness. Is like, people just hate Floyd. They just want us to. Every person Floyd has gone up against, it's become this crazed mayhem behind that person, like, oh, he might be the one, to the point where y'all backing dudes who don't even box.
Remember when they said Carlos Baldomir was going to beat him? He's too big and too strong.
Ricky Hatton, everybody. It's just nuts. And the fucked up part is everybody in Ireland is rooting for Conor McGregor, as they should.
Everybody in America ain't rooting for Floyd.
Everybody in black America isn't rooting for Floyd as they should. It's just we don't do that with each other.
B-Hop was on the Breakfast Club like last week, and he was like, well, I don't want to talk bad about the man, and I ain't trying to hate on him. Then the next 15 minutes was him hating on Floyd and trying to be a forensic accountant. And I'm just like, yo, you too old for this shit, man. Like, at the end of the day, you work for a Mexican guy. Like, you are not in charge of nothing at Golden Boy Promotions. It's not the Executioner Promotions / Golden Boy. You work for Oscar. Oscar got an axe to grind because Floyd kicked his ass and called him a homosexual and a cross-dresser, which he is. And now you're carrying his burden because that's your boss.
It's funny, the Canelo's last fight, when they asked Oscar, it was Oscar, Sugar Shane, and Canelo. Like, they were together. Sugar Shane worked for him. It was Oscar, Sugar Shane, and Canelo. They were sitting on the couch. And the guy was like, so what do you guys feel about Floyd and McGregor? And they like, oh, it's dumb. It's bad for boxing. Floyd is just so ridiculous. And this, that, and the third. And I'm thinking to myself, like, Floyd beat everybody on that couch.
Yeah, all three of them.
Just like, Floyd really beat everybody on that couch.
And if Floyd would have said, hey, Oscar, we're going to find a way to cut y'all in 20% of the gate in the pay-per-view, you'd have been there with bells on.
Yeah, real shit.
He'd have been like, yo, you got to wear your bustier that you wore in them pictures. You would have wore that shit to get a piece of the action for this motherfucking fight. Because at the end of the day, it's ridiculous, but it's going to ring the cash register. They charging $100 for pay-per-view, and you bringing together the two biggest combat sports in the world. Like, people are going to watch this shit.
It's going to do numbers. I'm not going to.
It's going to be a 9-minute fight, but we going to watch this shit.
It's going to go the distance. Ain't nobody knocking nobody out. Floyd 40. Boy's not going to hit him. Nobody's knocking each other out. Floyd going to win the fight easily. It's going to be 10-9 every round, maybe 10-8.
Right.
It's just what it is. It's like it's just really no point. But I really have nothing else to say. I'm
nothing else to add.
I'm over it. I'm literally over. I'm just waiting for the shit to be done. Y'all weird. People are threatening the chick Angie in real life. Mm-hmm. You seen that shit?
Power, yeah.
They said she has to turn off her Instagram comments every now and then because people get so crazy, and she's received death threats. It's like, yo,
it's a scripted drama.
It's play. It's like, why y'all gotta be so fucking weird? I don't understand it. That's simple shit though. You want to go into a bigger y'all weird with the whole issue of e-begging has popped back into the culture.
We did a show here, the age of e-begging, months and months ago. It was one of our first shows that we did, one of our first like TRPE originals that we did here, and we talked about people who should have other means to accomplish things outside of going to the internet asking strangers for money. But it keeps popping up again. So, like, the example that we gave was Kylie Jenner's best friend put up a GoFundMe. This is the last time we talked about it. Put up a GoFundMe for her dad's funeral, $25,000. Your best friend is worth $60 million. Why the fuck are you asking people that follow you for $25,000? And then when she hit the $25,000, she raised it to a bean. So like, this is the games that people playing on social media with fucking GoFundMe's and shit like that. And last night, this chick on Twitter, I'm not gonna say her name because she doesn't sponsor the show.
Yeah.
And she had at the time roughly 115,000 followers or whatever. And she goes on Twitter with this whole sob story and says, "Hey guys, my car got towed tonight by this quote unquote company that's known for scamming, and it's $250 that wasn't in my budget, and I really have to get my car back because I have things to do. So if you guys could just hit my PayPal here with some money that goes to the $250, it would be greatly appreciated." And naturally, Twitter fucking lost it because she's one of them men are trash people who every single day, and this is why men are trash, and this is da-da-da-da-da, and just very abusive the way that she interacts with people on social media, and then in your time of need, you go to social media and ask for money.
I said it's the simple fact that you're on social media calling people poor and broke, and telling them that their lives ain't shit. But then when this pops off, you need a $250. That's not nobody budget. I don't think any human. I don't think you go out tomorrow like, yeah, I'm gonna get my shit towed today. Like I don't think anybody is set out to do that. So. It happens. You as an adult, you deal with the shit. Your shit gets so. You remember when my shit got booted?
Yeah, I was on South Street a week ago.
$1,000
boot.
My shit got booted. I went down there. I'm like, yeah, I took a little. I think I had like $900 on me. I'm like, I'm gonna pay for this boot, nut ass tow fee, pay these tickets, get out of here. And I go to the lady, and she was like, yeah, do you want to talk about a payment plan? I'm like, I don't need no payment plan. I'm just paying straight out. She pulled the shit out. Was like, yeah, you owe $3,400. I said, where the fuck the payment plan lady at? The fuck?
That payment plan shit you was talking
Where
about
payment plan bitch at so I can talk to it?
Where is Scratch?
Where is Scratch? These motherfuckers started pulling up tickets from 87. I'm like, I was born in 84. How the fuck I got a ticket from it? It was they pull up every ticket on your name. But it's like, yo, you deal with the shit as it comes. My thing is, she posted a joint. All right, yo, I need some money. PayPal me. Da 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 da. Some random stranger, because you said this shit to 100,000 random fucking people, was like, yo, don't you got a dude? And she was like, yeah, it's not his responsibility. I'm like, the fuck?
Well, how is it our
How is
responsibility?
it Twitter's responsibility?
He's sticking dick to you, and it's not his responsibility.
That was
but it's somehow our responsibility.
That was the part that had me. And it's like, somebody today hit me, and they was asking me about it, and I'm like, I said my little piece of it, and she was like, so you against crowdfunding? I'm like, no. Crowdfund when you trying to feed the homeless. Crowdfund when you want to put coats on fucking kids in the winter. Crowdfund when somebody in your family has a crazy medical emergency or something happen, and they need to
start a rec center that's going to give back to these
crowdfund.
kids.
Don't crowdfund when you get a parking ticket or because you need hella hats. don't crowdfund for silly shit that go on in your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yo,
It's
my
adult
barber fucked my cut up, and I ain't got another $20 on me. I need somebody.
I need to get a fresh baldy. I need another dub.
Like motherfuckers,
everything counts.
Motherfuckers literally have gotten to the point where they run to the internet for anything. My shit got booted. I remember you bought me a couple because I'm like, yo, I don't got 3,600 right now. Come down here, Chad's like, here I come, fuck it. And it's just like, yo, I would take out a payday loan with a $2,900% interest rate. I mean, a 2,900% interest rate. Before I go to the timeline, like, yo, because I don't have a heart. I don't have a moxie to go on my timeline like, listen, y'all like these jokes? Because that's the tip she was on. That was her whole come off. Like, I give y'all all these tweets. I give y'all all this information.
Give y'all these fire tweets.
Yeah, I give y'all all
time
these
to
bars.
pay up, pussy.
Y'all should be willing to pay this for me. And it's like, I couldn't imagine going to my timeline like, y'all all think I'm funny as shit, right? All right, well, check this out. I need all you motherfuckers to hit my PayPal right now with $1. Because it's like, if I do that and explain my problems to the world and then go to my PayPal and that shit on zero, I'm killing all you bitches. It's like, I just couldn't do that. So to me, to sit back and watch somebody literally go to PayPal, I'm talking about the second a problem break out in your life, it's like, damn, you ain't have nobody in your family.
You don't have a cousin that sell dope that got a phone popping that you could call like, yo, cuz, give me $250 real fast.
In the words of Chad, you ain't no one to sell no pussy to real quick to get $250. It's insane watching it go down. That was my joint. Like, I'm not against crowdfunding, but like we talked about here on the Age of E-Banging, it's not crowdfunding that we're against. It's the fact that people have gotten to the point where they use it for any and everything.
It's use and abuse.
It's insane watching the shit go down. So and she tried to make sense of it today. Like, like I said, y'all should be willing to help me out, and you know, I had paintings in the car that I'm just like, yo, just no,
Beat it.
And Tariq Nasheed sent her $250.
Yo, when Tariq Nasheed said on behalf of Ashley Hotep Twitter, I want to send you this $250, because him and her been beefing for forever, and it's just like, it was a whole mess. Like Twitter was in shambles for this shit, and it's just, I think people have literally gotten to the point. Well, he says all the time, like women, like a man's money is disposable
income,
and motherfuckers really act like that. Like,
and you supposed to give it to me.
Like, you have an issue, that's your issue.
Yo, girl, listen, real quick. Girl asked my man the other day for $1,500. She knew him for like 8 days. And I know the girl. She got a good damn chick. She got a pretty good job. Like, she fucking like an auditor. So she makes good money. Straight asked my man for $1,500. I said, bro. He's like, I don't even know. He was so offended. He said, I don't know how to respond to this. I said, well, you got to figure out, you know, was she asking you because she genuinely needs it? Was she asking you to offend you? Or was she asking you for you to leave her alone? Because that's a woman thing, too, that they do. I mean, ask this motherfucker for a high sum of money, and if he give it to me, give it to me. And if he don't, then he just leave me alone, and I'll be done with him.
I see women posting that a lot. Like, you want to get rid of a nigga, ask for some money. And I'm like, well, I don't.
Just get rid of it.
Or just be like,
ain't working.
Or just be an adult.
It blows my mind, because it's like, there's a woman in my life who I'll give anything to.
Right.
But I don't know you, bitch. It's like, that's the issue we have in here.
We got good news and we got bad news.
We got good. What you want first? The good or the bad? It's like, that's the issue, is that motherfuckers will do that, like you said, 8 days in. I told you, my man, the bitch asked him for a purse that cost $2,500. He's like, all right, well, what's your last name? Like, let's start with the basics before we start going into me buying you $3,000 bags.
How'd you end up single with 2 kids? Let's talk about your background a little bit.
Big Ricky said something yesterday at the cookout. He was like,
I was gonna come to that. Shout out Rick Moore. I work with his pop. That's that's Rick, my man.
He was like, he was looking at all. He was checking out everything that was moving around the cookout. He was like, man, but you know, I ain't really striking on nothing, because 10 minutes of fun that I'ma have ain't gonna be worth the 3 years of headaches that they gonna bring to me. They gonna be asking me for all type of bullshit in the first week, and that's how it be.
Like, who was saying this?
Big Rick.
Senior. I'm gonna smack the shit out of Rick. Hey, man, I can't believe it. That's how man. Rick fucks me up, man. Shit. But, I mean, you got anything else you want to talk about?
Stop asking strangers for money on the internet.
Yeah.
If it's not for a worthy cause, at least. Please.
We gotta do better.
We gotta do better. We got any questions? We got 10 minutes left.
Let me go into here. Do you think? Okay, this person sent 4 questions. This niggas be bored, man. Do you think Drake's run/wave is slowing down? And do you think Drake could or would make an album like 444?
Drake's story is not Jay-Z's story, so I don't think that he would make an album like that.
Bingo. Drake also isn't 60.
Yeah, he's his issues with women have already been well documented through his discography from So Far Gone to present. You know what I'm saying?
He's still in Vegas.
Yeah, he's still talking about Katia. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Miss Cat. Like, he's still talking about Katia in his music. So, and Courtney from Hooters on Peachtree, like, he's documented
and
all
Bria.
of his dating and relationship issues, you know, historically, you know. So, I don't think that it's time at all for a guy that's, you know, just turning 30 or whatever to make that type of an album yet. He's, you know, probably had to progress towards that. And but, you know, Drake always be giving us little jewels, especially relationship related stuff anyway in his music. Do I think his run is slowing down? A little bit. I think that he's kind of intentionally like slowed down his output to make it more impactful when he does drop stuff, as opposed to just putting out music all the time, flooding. And I just think he probably has a plan for himself that he probably want to rule the winter, and he just going to take the summer off.
That, and he's doing a million other fucking things.
Yeah.
Niggas hosting award shows and every fucking thing else.
Absolutely.
Are you guys 444 fans? Did you like the album?
Yeah.
Love the album.
I know
think
you're a
that's what
Jay-Z fan.
Yeah, I know that. That's
Yeah, I
that's
love
what the culture needed.
I ain't gonna go that far, but it's like
Don't get me started.
I got into a lot of arguments this week over my Jay-Z comments last week.
Oh, about the album,
I
about discography.
was ready to rumble whoever, but it's like it is what it is. I think the album is good. I think it's very good. I don't think it's great. I think it's good. Very good. I give it a B+. Because I can't give a 60-year-old dude a A+ for things that, one, I already have been asking for him to do. And the album, to me, just isn't long enough. And the production on it is a little like, don't do that. You know.
So I do agree with the idea that I would have wanted 2 more songs. But the production on it to me is amazing.
That's what carried the album for me.
The production's really good. The songs ain't like it's Smile and 444 I think are very great. The Family Feud is cool. Marcy Me is real good. But the joint with Damian Marley, I was good.
All that.
I like that joint.
I'm good on that.
The bars on that song is amazing.
I'm talking about the beat. I'm talking about the production.
Yeah, but then
I don't like it.
That I kept feeling like, yo, Hove don't really got nothing that you could translate to like the club or that. I feel like that's that song. Like when we was in DC and that came on a day party, people was going crazy. Like,
I mean, people like Jay-Z.
No, I'm saying just the sound, the beat, the production of that song go over well in the club setting.
We just gonna go back and forth.
We just gonna agree to disagree. I don't want to get on the whole way.
All right, real quick. Do you think the following rap/singers are done? Fetty Wap, Dej Loaf, Rich Homie Quan, Tanaje, Shy Glizzy.
Shy Glizzy not done because Shy Glizzy never really popped off yet. Other than that one record, Shy Glizzy an underground king, so he don't rely on the mainstream to carry his thing. He's still raking in $15,000-$20,000 a month, so he don't really give a fuck. So, Shy Glizzy, no. Dej Loaf has a dope pop-ish record out right now that I think going to carry her. Fetty and Quan are done.
So I think Fetty is done. I'm actually going to vote that I think my man Rich Homie Quan got a chance.
You think Quan got a chance?
I do.
Real quick, Lonzo's wearing Jordans tonight. I told niggas in my job today he was going to wear. He's been going back and forth with all the sneakers. Yeah, I knew he was going to wear Jordans tonight, and he's fucking it up right now.
Speaking of Shy Glizzy too, we got Shy Glizzy DJ,
DJ Flow.
He on this show, and we need Philly people to come to this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got the best section in the house for the Philly people. We reserved it for y'all, so hit Mirror up for tickets or. Call her. What you want to give out the number?
Yeah, go ahead.
267-496-8800. Y'all want to come down to the GZ show? It's gonna be a great night.
They explain that section to y'all. Ironically, is section 103, and you know how that ties directly to Jeezy. It's literally right in front of the stage, so it's like maybe 90 to 100 seats that you are not even able to purchase online. These are tickets that we took that we wanted to be able to like make sure that we held for our home city. So, Philly. You could call the number, get in touch with me, DM the Dope Shows page. Dope Show is dope_shows_. You could get directly at me on Instagram. It's DTEMIR. Hit Steph up. However it is that you want to get in contact with us. Like we said, these tickets are not available online. We wanted this to be something special that we did for our city. The drive is not that bad. It's like an hour and 15 minutes to get to the harbor. It's a beautiful venue.
Beautiful.
Something to do. It's like an average night in Philadelphia. There don't be too much going on. So it's like something dope that we could put on for our city.
And we're trying to put together some discounted, a specific hotel. It's called the Pendry. It's an amazing hotel. It's like a vibed out. I feel like Miami when you're there. Like that's how crazy it is. So we're trying to get some discounted rates right now for our Philly people who come down. So we should be announcing something about that soon.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I need that.
We didn't even pop the champagne.
Oh yeah, let's get to that now.
Yeah.
We got any more questions?
We got a question about battle rap. The guy says you guys talk almost every episode about rap, but y'all never seem to mention battle rap or either one of you battle rap fans.
I love battle rap, but the problem with battle rap is that it's a subgenre. It's not mainstream.
Yeah.
Mainstream people watch it and participate in it, but it's not like a mainstream thing. So I don't want to be on here giving like obscure references to like battle rap shit and it don't connect to the audience. So it's like I try to like curtail like my Loaded Lux and Hollow the Don repertoire, but yeah, I fucking love battle rap. I watch this shit all the time. I was watching the Saga and Take the Demon last night. So yeah, we gonna pop this champagne in celebration of Dope Show's 4th show and our 500,000 downloads, man. We appreciate everybody out there supporting the show.
Yeah.
It's official.
Yeah, it's
We
like
need some hand claps.
Yeah, just add some fake hand claps or something in there. It's like I love battle rap. But like he said, it's like it's not a mainstream thing. I was saying I wanted to go to a battle rap, but then I look in the crowd and I'd be like, nah, I can't go to this joint. It's a lot of
You talking about charged up testosterone?
yo, the whole crowd of them joints look like MOP. This shit is
Even the
crazy.
chicks.
Even the chicks, they all look like MOP. This shit is wild.
That Billy Dan's a little fake.
Oh Lord! All right, Lonzo got 12 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and he's
Triple-double
and he's
on
perfect 4 for 4. So in the second quarter, so we're all rooting for Lonzo. Anything else you guys want to add? Y'all gave out the number. The number is 215-496-8000.
8,800.
8,800. I'm sorry.
Good ass memory, man.
I'm good with numbers. And you check them out. Dope shows. Dope_shows_ DTE Mirror. Vinny.Chase. Hopefully y'all sell out. I wanted y'all to come back to the city with something huge for us.
Yeah, we coming for the Wells Fargo.
Yeah, we coming
Speaking it into existence right now.
before the year over.
Before the year over, we're gonna do an arena. Hopefully, it's the Wells Fargo.
That's what's up.
That's how we would like
toasting
to come back
to
to
2
our
million downloads in the arena.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, a week.
There you go.
Shout out Black Poppy, man. You out here working, boy. You
Yeah,
want
shout out
everything
Black Pop.
moving,
Yeah,
man.
shout out Black Pop. He killing
He
it,
is
man.
moving.
He
shaking,
moving.
man.
Rap Van coming soon.
Damn.
They just debuted his song on 107.9 the other day. Shout out DJ Amir.
It took me a year to get a rap. Sitting pretty
Yeah,
bad.
he not playing, man. Black Poppy moving, man.
Yeah.
Black Poppy out here acting like amigo for real,
Yeah,
for real.
He
And it's
definitely is.
dope because like he truly invested in his craft and he ain't asking for no handouts.
Nah.
And I can appreciate that. Like that make you want to look out for him and make you want to give to him. Like he not even somebody like I grew up with or somebody I got a long relationship with, and we rap all the time just about like what he doing and how he moving.
Yeah.
It's dope to see.
And the thing is, what people gotta understand, when people see you constantly investing in yourself, that's what's gonna make somebody give you an opportunity. When they see you already doing the work and building your brand, like his followers going up, the likes going up, all the page interaction, all that shit, man. It's dope to see, man. I'm proud to be a part of it.
Cause Steph looking for an artist right
Yeah,
now.
we definitely looking for somebody to put a push behind because
Y'all trying to sign an artist?
not sign, but like manage. Like I feel like the reach we got with these shows like is perfect. Like looking at Sean G, what he did for the Roots, I don't see why we can't do it for somebody. Like we,
Not trying to be
maybe
funny,
not to that level right away, but like eventually, I feel like we can.
I always wanted to rap, low key.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I'm not trying to.
Go ahead.
Shoot your shot.
right
But
now.
no, I don't have no raps. Like I need a writer.
writer.
Yeah. Like if somebody write for me, I feel like I got the personality and passion to be a rapper. I always wanted to do the shit, but I need a ghostwriter.
I believe in you. Memory is crazy.
Real shit. I can remember Bone. I know Bone Thugs raps, so it's like you can rap. You can write fast shit, slow shit. I'm cool with all of that. So if I get a ghostwriter, I wouldn't mind like taking a stab at it. Putting a little 5-song EP together, see what it do on iTunes.
See where this goes.
Yeah, fuck it. Like, think about it. Kanye became a rapper,
Yeah.
and a very big, successful one.
He was terrible at first.
And plus,
Look at Eazy-E.
He had to punch his shit one line at a time.
Yo, like
Cruising down the street in my 6'4".
Yeah.
All right, give me 20 minutes. I'll be right
Be
back.
right back, man. We're gonna smoke a black. Be right back.
Oh man! All right, so we got another classic show in the books. I didn't realize we did 2 hours. That shit.
Hell yeah, that shit flew, man. I appreciate y'all for staying the whole show, man. The champagne, everything.
Yeah, that was fly.
It's a partnership, man. Y'all help us. We help y'all. It's constant support. On both ends. We want this episode to top the last one. Like I said, our viewership been up just in general since the last time y'all was here. And
No, we're gonna definitely continue to push it. We definitely moving forward. We're gonna still do the hosted show that we talked about.
yeah,
So, yeah, with this
All
dope
that's
shows
in the works,
and
man.
realest podcast ever, this relationship won't ever change.
We out.